Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Salty Saturday. My name is Dr. Fish, and I will be your op for this evening. Alongside me today is going to be my teammate, my friend, my fellow caster, Mojo Powell. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Excited to get into tonight's games.
All right. Well, we are at the point now where players are probably all banned up and ready to go. Let's quickly run through these classes. We have Disco versus Corden in a Hero Series match. If you want to go ahead and talk about the classes,
Yeah,
that
absolutely. So we've got Disco on the Paladin, Priest, Rogue, and Warrior. As you were saying to me right before we started the show, pretty much the typical best classes lineup. And Corridon against him with Druid, Paladin, Warlock, and Warrior.
yeah, there is no the man beige on the screen is not what was supposed to be there. There we go, up and ready. I saw the players all readied up. I think Corden just sent me the bans. So I have the bans in. Disco has banned Corridon's Druid. Corden has banned Disco's Paladin. So we won't be seeing their first slot classes this game.
It makes sense. Corridon's lineup looks like it could be some kind of a target priest lineup, bringing the Warlock. The Druid could be a clown. Uh,
Yeah.
Clown type Druid or Primordial. So it makes sense that he wouldn't ban the priest, going with the paladin, the most aggressive deck. So I like it.
Yeah, I like it for sure. And in the interest of time for to take into consideration the time of these players, we're going to tell them to go play. And so for those who are watching, Corden will be first to spectate for myself. He will be on the bottom of your screen, and Disco will be on the top. Any guesses as to how we're gonna see a lead? I'm curious how they want to queue order these, because queue order is very important
Yeah, I
in
don't
this
know. It's
format.
interesting. You really want to catch. Obviously, you want to catch the priest with the warlock. Um, if the warlock doesn't find the priest, it's difficult. But in last year's standing, it's a little easier. So I would expect Corridon to lead with the paladin or something. It's probably just the safest class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Disco to lead with something like rogue or warrior. Because if you can win without playing priest, that would be nice.
Yeah, for sure. I for a fact the warlock will definitely be saved for a priest. Um, but in last hero standing, you do if the warlock doesn't get played, warlock doesn't have to win. Doesn't even have to get played depending on how this match plays out. Um,
It's true, which makes it a much safer inclusion in your lineup in a last hero standing series.
exactly. So have them into the game. I have eyeballs. I've currently gotten to. There we got a paladin versus rogue matchup.
So we were right. Corden leading with the paladin.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, we
got
see a rogue lead from Disco. Gonna
Sure, it makes sense. Rogue, generally pretty decent matchups across the board. No incredibly polarizing matchups or classes it faces. So I think it's smart. An interesting turn one though from Corridon going with the Galloping Savior over the Knight of Anointment. Makes sense. Knight of Anointment gets daggered down most of the time, but playing out the secret is an interesting one. Oh, and we see now from Disco that it is, in fact, a secret rogue as he plays out the Sparkjoy cheat, which is going to give him a bamboozle.
yeah. In this combo is definitely like a favorite of Secret Rogue. There are two builds of Secret Rogue. And Disco has opted for the one that plays the Spark Joy with Bamboozle. Some look for more of a miracle centric field contact package instead. So Corden is definitely not in a maybe very favorable spot for classes, but there's definitely a world in which this secret rogue kind of bricks, and the paladin is able to just push damage. We'll see. This is a N'Zoth paladin too, so there's a lot more threats potentially.
Yeah, and both players off to a decent curve so far. Disco's got a lot of nice tools in here. The Blackjack Stunner, Wand Thief, stuff that we could see come down even this turn as Omayog will pop on the ambush, and we get Thrive in the Shadows just to draw another secret.
Yeah. So became 2 mana, draw another card. Not bad. Not great. Probably wanted that ambush on the board for something, but for what it's worth, getting Dirty Tricks isn't terrible. Plays out the Wand Thief.
Yeah.
Biscuit Mask.
It could be worse, and you need to play the secret in so that your secret passage eventually doesn't get popped. I would even consider taking Mana Biscuit here just to have another thing to prop Omayog. As you have to imagine that there'll be another Omayog coming up pretty soon with the weapon equipped.
For sure. We see one galloping there, one galloping in deck, one galloping on the board, one galloping in the hand. So my guess is this last secret is indeed going to be Omayog. I'm just curious if it might be a 5 secret package, but generally you only see 2 galloping, 2 Omayog in this deck.
Yeah, the only other option is really 1 Reckoning.
Yeah.
So we'll see with this weapon swing what he gets. But I like this. Just going face. We've narrowed it down to Bamboozle by now. And if we can just push damage before the rogue really has answers, gonna really get places. And we see, yeah, it is another Omayog.
Yes. So I might expect a stunner here, just to stunner the 5/6 because that's gonna keep pushing damage. You can't, unless you can kill it, which doesn't look like there is a way on board to kill it. On board or in hand, could maybe look for something with a 10 woo, but not so sure I would like that. I think just getting a stunner out here is better.
In this matchup, this is where you really want stunner. Getting Hand of a Dollar, Conviction buffed minions off the board. It's gonna trade in the 3/3. And we could also see Octobots in hand with Prize Plunder.
Yeah,
we could see something like that. It's a bit of a low value hand to start reducing, but it's a lot of cards, so.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Just also wants to play around the galloping while it's there. So maybe opting to...
Absolutely.
So we're seeing a stunner hover. Gonna play out the Dirty Tricks, trigger Omayog, and then get the stunner out. Let's see what the Dirty Tricks turns into. It turns into Living Seed. So there's no beast in the deck, so that turns into nothing.
Mana do nothing. And the unfortunate thing with this Northwatch Commander is that it can come back down and draw another card, although I'm not sure that will be what Corden does. But I like it. It's a good turn from Disco, even with 2 mana do nothing.
Yeah.
He's got absolute control of the board and the weapon, good use of mana. As that's a snack run.
Oh, he teched snack run in his deck. Okay.
A really interesting inclusion.
It helped. I assume it helps in some matchups where you just really need healing. Like this in this rogue matchup, that could come in some pretty big handy getting even a heal card from snack run. But it's generally not a card we see. I like the Kazakus play here. Get your 5 golem. Look for like stealth or divine shield, which both are options. Just has to decide which one he wants, and copy. So that is a.
It should be a 1 golem.
It is a 1 golem. It's a 1 golem divine shield copy. I think he might have looked for I think he might have been looking for a buff to do a nice clear turn with the broom, but he just didn't find it.
Yeah, it could work out well for the next turn, but the unfortunate thing is that Corden has 10 cards in hand. So there could be important tools that get burnt. Knowing that there's no Omayogs left in the deck, Disco's going to go for a secret passage turn, and that's not quite the hit you wanted.
Yeah, he could, but I think it's not bad just because of the fact that you can shadow. Like, it depends on how much he cares about or how much Disco cares about playing into Galloping Savior, because you can just remove it with your Prize Plunderer if you trigger it at this point. So I might even be okay just trying to get this Prize Plunderer to the point where it can deal 4 damage. Secret Shadow Steps
with
are...
the Shadow Steps.
Oh, go ahead.
With the Shadow Steps, we can get rid of the Kazakus with the Plunderer and then the Galloping Savior, but it looks like we might just Shadow Step the Sparkjoy cheat.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, dagger up and pass the turn.
Interesting. Okay, I don't mind it. I think his hand was already at...
Yeah, he seems to be playing very hard around the Galloping Savior.
Yeah, sometimes you don't... I mean, there are times where yeah, Corden burns his second North Watch. Which, you know, kind of unfortunate, but I don't think he really needs too much minion draw right now with his hand.
Yeah,
eventually...
I would agree. With 10 cards in the hand, it's not the card you were looking for. It wasn't a N'Zoth burn. It wasn't a Hammer of the Naru burn, so I feel like we're okay. Finally going to proc the Bamboozle. It's been here all game.
What a great use of the broom to trigger the Bamboozle with the minion, or with a Divine Shielded minion, so you knew it wasn't gonna die, and no matter, and any health left over could very easily be taken out by either Kazakus or the broom, depending. Gonna have to throw the mask out here and hope it clears.
Ooh.
It does get a full clear. That is a very fortunate
mask for the board clear, I like it. But the thing is now, Corden, massive hand, gets to just redevelop however he wants here. Could even play something like the Skystalker. Oh, we're going to see the Snack Run. Snack Run for the 1 heal from Avenge. An interesting choice, but I think I like this. Going as wide as we can this turn. Probably going to play out the 1-cost Golem too. No, okay, going with the Avenge. But still, a wide board, getting ready for whatever Disco's going to redevelop with on this turn.
Yeah. We see Kazakus, we see the Mankrik picked up. So, gonna see what type of Golem Disco wants to take. Goes for a 5. Poisonous, deal 3. Okay. So, he's opting for the route that removes big threats. We're gonna see Mankrik and Sparkjoy cheat, it looks like.
Yeah, and again, I like this line too. Developing a really big board here, and with this Golem, you can make a massive board swing in the next couple of turns.
Yeah.
And really solidify that tempo lead and start pushing home.
For sure.
Is gonna need to try and find some, finds damage with Olgra.
Sure.
Right off the top from the Sparkjoy cheat, and draws into a Wicked Stab. So that's enough damage that Disco can really start to look to close the game.
This is lethal. It's lethal. It's Hammer of the Naru plus Conviction. Conviction and then Hammer of the Naru is lethal. So I hope... So...
yeah, you're right.
So Corden just needs to... yeah, he ordered it correctly. So the Paladin sneaking a win here based on the burst damage of Conviction. Always got a good job on Corden to recognize that. Secret Rogue is really in this specific lineup. It was I think Secret Rogue was obviously meant for the Paladin, and the fact that the Paladin got through is definitely something.
Yeah, I mean, that's a powerful turnaround right there. I mean, we were just talking about how Corden was looking for a big swing, but I guess getting a little greedy with the turn, just redeveloping and not clearing the board, not respecting the conviction damage. So good on Corden to spot that, and we're going to look see game 2. It's going to be the Paladin again.
Yeah, I'm not 100%.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, we're just waiting on them to figure out what Disco to figure out what class he wants to play against this Paladin. He's sitting with Priest and Warrior left, so I assume we'll see the Warrior here.
Yes, and it is going to be the Warrior.
Yes. So Warrior decks tend to do very well into this into this Menagerie Paladin deck, I'm pretty sure. I will make sure that I have at least some form of a good opinion with that, because I'm not 100% on these matchups, and
Yeah,
I
I
want to
would
make
agree. I think
sure.
that Rush Warriors matchups are again sort of similar to the Rogues, pretty decent across the board. And Rush Warrior, especially into more board focused decks like this Paladin, this N'Zoth Paladin.
Yeah.
Unless N'Zoth Paladin gets off to some crazy aggressive start, Rush Warrior normally has the comeback mechanics needed to turn the game
That
around.
makes a
So we're
lot
gonna
of
see
sense.
Ganarg on turn 1.
Yeah, Ganargon 1 is always nice. We see Bumper Car and Parade Leader in hand, so those are very nice starts. The only downside for Disco was that he didn't get the coin. His hand's really good with the coin.
Yeah, it's a powerful hand no matter what, and I like this from Corda though. Coining out the Red Scale Dragon Tamer gets a target for Hand of Adal on this turn if he wants to play. It doesn't have to. He could go with the Sword of the Fallen. Now that you have
Yeah.
2 swords in hand too, that might change the decision, but no, still gonna go with the Hand of Adal, and I really like this. This is a hard minion for the warrior to start
Yeah.
killing. He's gonna need the Gnarg weapon.
The warrior won't be able to clear it this turn. Or he won't be able to remove it this turn. He can set up to be able to clear it. Might even just go with something like a Bumper Car with the stage dive.
He can clear it. He could clear it if he wanted to spend one of the 1/1s, but I agree with this. I think this is
Oh
better.
yeah, you're right. He could have with the 1/1. I think going for a stage dive minion is a little better here. You're not too concerned right now about this minion, because your Gnarg will always be able to attack next turn. There is some consideration probably to bumping the 4/5, but I'm just gonna opt for the gonna opt to send it to 1. All right.
I like bumping it. The more we can get these 1/1s in hand with conditioning, with Parade Leader available to us, and Overlord Runthak, this is like all of our sort of buff options. So the more minions we can have in hand, the better.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised to see even an early conditioning on 4 just to buff up these minions, because you're gonna see, because Runthak might have a somewhat of a chance of actually sticking. We see Crimson Sigil Runner for Corden, but it's not on the right, so he doesn't just immediately throw it out there. Instead, probably gonna play Sword of the Fallen, and has to decide whether to go face or to get rid of the 2/2. And I think Corden very likely just wants to get that chip damage in now while he can. Because he's gonna
Well, we have the 4 attack minion.
Yeah,
it's good to just start pushing face damage. We'll see what the secret is. Oh My Yogg could be influential. It's Galloping Savior. Both are good. Oh My Yogg has a special value into the warrior because they have so few ways of popping it. Most of the time, the only spells that they run are conditioning and athletics, conditioning, athletic studies, and stage dive. None of which you really want to get Oh My Yogg. So
yeah,
it is Galloping Savior and hovering over the Playmaker this turn.
Yeah.
Which could be really powerful, actually, as we can see that Corden doesn't really have an answer to it. And just like that, Disco sort of takes the board pretty handily. Is going to use the last weapon swing, which I might have liked to hold on to, but gets the Playmaker down. It's somewhat unanswerable unless something comes from Snack Run, I guess. I don't know. I don't think you can answer this. And it's just going to get tons of value with Parade Leader in hand, too. We can start to get a lot of buffed minions, and the board might be difficult to come back on for Corden.
Yeah, so we're going to opt for... So he's going to opt for the to correct the Oh My Yogg. If I'm Corden, I probably just play my Kazakis and take a Golem for next turn. Look for something that's going to be... Look for a pretty good Golem here. Something that's going to either be able to clear board or develop 2 of that specific minion. Right, pick something and then has copy as an option. Takes poisonous copy.
Poisonous with the copy. That's so unfortunate. Was sort of looking. I mean, it's still strong, but was looking for poisonous with the deal damage, or was looking for maybe rush with copy or something like that. So
yeah,
I'm assuming the Gloom will come down next turn, and it'll be a big board presence, but it might not be enough to bring the board back
Yes.
in Corden's favor.
Yeah, this is not looking very good. The one thing that could be good going for this deck, unfortunately, the broomsticks just won't work with this. So Corden just has to play this out and hope that that his opponent tries that they feel threatened to trade into this. I just think that there's a lot of really good answers here for Disco where he doesn't have to he's gonna be able to take care of this pretty easily. Especially with
as we can
Playmaker.
see with Parade Leader in hand, there's pretty much no reason to trade into these on board. Galloping Savior could be an issue this turn. Omayog as well, as you'd like to start playing Conditioning, but we'll see what the line is. 2, this will be the second Runthak buff on the hand, so
Yeah.
really powerful minions.
Yeah, so Dark Moon Riders will just be able to clear and then be able to push 6 extra damage face. This is very, very rough for the Paladin here. Because the Galloping Savior does not get triggered. So Corden can just so Disco can just hero power here and avoid that, but he will yeah, he ends up triggering it, which is not great.
Yeah.
Probably has to give up a bit of an ordering. But I don't know. I don't think it's gonna matter too much. I mean, unless there was a Samuro in the deck.
In the long run, it looks like Disco still has a firm control of this game, but I would have liked it the other way around. I think the other way was actually a lethal setup if you just swing in face and hero power past the turn.
Yeah. Snack Run does give Rally.
Finds Rally to heal for 4.
Yeah. It does.
But I don't know that Rally really summons much. There's like a Dragon Tamer.
So Dragon Tamer and I don't think anything else that's costed 1 has died, but we are going to see the Northwatch Commander here. I'd like to see something either like the Web Spinner. Yeah, the Web Spinner probably. The Web Spinner could potentially give something. However, if the Web Spinner dies, Corden will end up milling a card at the end of the turn.
I think we were looking for the Broom with the Northwatch Commander. Broom could maybe give us some out on the next turn. Broom with Rally after some trades or something, but I think if I'm Disco here, there's a couple options. You could just go face and look for lethal. This Stone Mall Anchorman is very large.
Yes.
I mean, could come down, trade into the Northwatch or something like that.
I agree. Yeah, I think there's no you could go full face and just hope for like, because there's really not much that Corden could pull out that would actually win the game here. It's not like Naru plus whatever. Naru plus is gonna win the game right here. But yep, just gonna go Stonewall, take the draw. Troublemaker goes into hand. Gonna play it safe potentially and trade into the Web Spinner. Gonna opt to not do that and gonna end up playing the Bumper Car and then trading that way.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
The Bumper Car, a little extra damage. We can burn options like the Naru, any sort of comeback mechanic that he could have potentially drawn. Gets Rally. You can first day of school and look for a Broom.
Yeah, this doesn't. Found the Stunner. Okay. So
Blackjack Stunner.
So it doesn't save the game. No. Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna concede.
Yeah.
The series is gonna go up to 1-1.
Very nice. We love to see a series. Sure, Corden's not super happy about that one, but I mean that matchup is very, very good for the Warrior. And he will be able to respond with whichever of his decks he wishes. Either the Warlock or the Warrior, depending on the Warrior deck, could actually be pretty good into Disco's Warrior. So
yeah, I'm not sure if it's a Control Warrior. I imagine it's another Rush Warrior. We could look at the Rush Warrior mirror of some kind, but
sure.
I like that. That was a powerful showing of both the decks, and even Paladin getting off to a strong start with the unanswered hand of it all on the Red Scale Dragon Tamer. You could just see the power of Rush Warrior in coming back on the board and setting up your own tempo while removing your opponents.
Yes.
As the classic saying goes.
Yeah,
Just proved too much for the Paladin to deal with, but we're gonna see the Warrior here. But I don't think it's a mirror match.
no, this is a control warrior from Corridon. I like this bring because control warrior is one of the few warrior decks that has a great matchup into priest.
Yeah, and some powerful new tools in this expansion, right? Rancor, especially with Lord Barov, is a huge board swing turn. It's been a powerful option. I think saw it some in Grandmasters this week, so it's been growing in popularity past couple weeks, and I really like this bring. We'll see what it can do against the Rush Warrior.
Yeah, it does look like this deck doesn't run maybe unless I miss it. I don't think he's running Cthulhu in his deck. I guess that's been cut.
No, I didn't see it either.
So it has been.
So it doesn't have the Cthulhu.
Yeah,
Yeah, cut for the Silas, I guess.
probably. I think there's I don't know the builds of the deck of this deck specifically, but all right, we see Rattlegore, which might be interesting for this match. Is pretty interesting in the Warrior Mirror, honestly. It's not as good as it used to be, but we see coming off the Scorpion Whirlwind Barricade and Nitro Boost. I would I mean, you could go for a Nitro Boost poison. It wouldn't be too bad. But Barricade.
Yeah, you could. I don't mind Nitro Boost. Barricade is good in this deck. You often find yourself with no minions. I think Whirlwind's the only sort of non-option here.
Yes.
I'm kind of expecting the Barricade. No, okay, it's gonna go with the Nitro Boost.
So,
with the Axe next turn, it sort of makes sense.
Yeah, the Barricade is actually hard run in this deck, I'm pretty sure. So maybe you just don't want to pick something that's already in your deck. So the bumper card will get thrown here into the Venomous Scorpid. Double Conditioning in Disco's hand. This is a pretty nice start, honestly. Already has Anchorman and has the Samuro. So this version of Rush Warrior doesn't look like a N'Zoth variant. It just looks like regular old Rush Warrior.
Yeah, I'd agree. And a bit of a slow tempo start here, but some good value in the hand. We could see either just maybe a play of the cutting class, or maybe just like a double conditioning or something here. It's got a lot of minions in hand, but we'll see. Not a ton of answers in Corridon's hand, but things like Minefield, Lord Barov are pretty powerful. So I think it's going to be difficult for Disco to really get onto the board in a meaningful way.
Yeah, I think you're right.
For the cutting class goes up to 9 cards.
Oh, this is Silas OTK Warrior.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, Corridon. I see what you're doing, and I kind of like what you're doing.
Yeah, I absolutely like it. I think it's another reliable sort of OTK option that doesn't sort of slog your deck down with Cthulhu draws. I may like the Cthulhu more because Cthulhu is helpful in fatigue matchups like the Control Warrior Mirror can be. But I don't mind this either. It's another late game finisher option that'll be helpful into the Priest if Corridon can find that matchup. But so just going to pass the turn, actually saving the Outrider's Axe charge. As Disco really needs to start playing things. Has a full hand.
Yeah, he finds Rokara. Finding a Rokara here is very nice. Probably gonna have to spend probably gonna have to play Conditioning and spend a Dark Moon Rider just to trade into to this Scorpion. I don't necessarily like playing both of the conditionings here, but I mean it's an option.
Yeah, I think this is fine. Getting the Scorpion off the board. We're not giving any Outrider's Axe hits, assuming that we're passing the turn, but we'll see. There are options. I don't mind the second conditioning, but we are just going to pass the turn here.
Yeah.
ETC in the hand could be actually a really meaningful inclusion in this matchup, especially because Corridon's game plan hasn't seemed to include much armor.
Yeah, it generally doesn't include armor maybe until later in the matchup. I haven't messed around at all with this deck since last expansion. But just seeing these big minions with double conditioning, some of these guys are massive minions, and this yeah, I gotta play Runthak and can remove the Blade Master and not even die. So it will get traded off by the Outrider's Axe next turn. But it'll be interesting because Corden's at the point where he'll be milling. So I suspect perhaps a Minefield to clear up here would be the option.
Yeah, and tanking 5 damage might not be what we want to do, especially when we see things on the other hand like 6/6 Dark Moon Rider, 7/8 Parade Leader. This is a hand of massive minions, so clearing this Runthak quickly as we can gonna be important. I agree. Starting to get these Outrider's Axe charges down, just pushing some damage to the face. But we'll see what Disco's board reload will look like here if he feels like committing to the board in any meaningful way.
Yeah, so I mean he can do something and drop Watley here. Watley would draw I guess it would draw like Sword Eater, Bumper Car, and very likely Alex Draza. And that means that it'll go to 10 cards in hand.
Yeah, I don't mind it. You can play a Parade Leader or a Dark Moon Rider or both along with it.
Yeah.
Both extends a little hard into Brawl, so I agree with this.
Mm-hmm. So
but this is a difficult board. The Coerce makes it easier.
Yeah, courses make it pretty easy. Gordon's just at a point where he can't draw at all, so he's in a very awkward spot. He would have to expend his coin here to use Coerce. Because otherwise you
it's not a terrible option.
And if you're gonna do that, then you can trade into the then you could potentially go for just a trade on Watley essentially. That would be the purpose of that, of trying to dump some hand, is to draw with your Outrider's Axe. I do like just trying to get
I like
this
it. I think
down
getting rid of the
otherwise.
Parade Leader is very important, and Coerce seems to be the only way that we can do that, so...
Yeah, Corden...
Is hovering the coin, gonna play it. Oh, actually just gonna coin Rattlegore.
So Rattlegore is extremely difficult for this. Rattlegore might not be extremely difficult for this Rush Warrior to deal with. However, it will be something that must be dealt with. So it will force some of these resources into the Rattlegore instead of going into face, and like this Stone Maul, which is 9/10, will be able to clear it with getting the proc. It's just gonna be seeing how many things
it'll clear the first life.
It'll clear the first life, and then you have something else that can get through the second life, or you can just honestly ignore it and just play a Sword Eater and then go face for 10 damage.
I think now's the time to start going face. Yeah, with big minions like this, starting to set up a board, now is absolutely the time to go face from Disco. With Rattlegore on the board, it's a decent time as any to Brawl.
Yeah.
Brawl gets better the more minions your opponent has, right? But you don't have to. Mm-hmm. These minions are pretty clearable without it.
Yeah. So, has the option
issue with the weapon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just saying the issue with the weapon is that, like, first overdraw and second, you're starting to get low. And again, like I said, without the armor from the early game, it's a little difficult. Is gonna, face tank the 2/5 trade Rattlegore into the 7/8, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, just gonna coerce it.
Yeah, I like to coerce here. Rattlegore starting to push damage is actually quite dangerous. Has Bulwark. There is a world in which you just play Bulwark here because it's just gonna make it so you're not drawing into 10 cards. But it can also soak some, and it'll also be able to soak damage while Corden gains this armor that he wants.
I agree, and without Outrider's Axe in hand, I think there's no better time to play it. Just drop the Bulwark, spend your mana. Always a powerful option. Exactly.
It was either that or you hero power, and the Bulwark will save, because really a big armor gain, especially against a deck like Rush Warrior that likes to go large, that likes to go pretty wide on board, is going to be Bear of Rancor. So we'll see here what Disco opts for. There is an option eventually. I don't know. I don't think the second bumper car has been played yet. But getting bumper car to get the riders in hand eventually, once the hand gets dumped a little bit, as long as Disco can get playmakers with ETC and bumper cars and Dark Moon Riders, that there is gonna be a threshold where he will just be able to kill. He'll just be able to kill Corridon as long as the bulwark has been removed.
Yeah, bumper car's still in the hand actually, so I like this developing onto the board. But I agree, as soon as he's playmaker, he may actually just have lethal.
Yeah, I just think the fact that Corridon's going to be able to clear a lot of what's on the board. There is one Rancor. I don't expect to see it here because I'm not sure how many he runs. I assume it's 2. But this is a really nice Blade Storm, honestly.
It's generally a 2 of. You could look for a Blade Storm and play the Shield Maiden.
Yeah.
Really start getting onto the board, something like that.
Mm-hmm. But you see, just
armor up, Shield Maiden.
Yeah, the pressure the pressure this Rattlegore has forced onto it, and it's not like this warrior sitting at 30 health. So as long as Corridon keeps this Shield Slam and the 2 cards in hand there, the Ash Tunk and the Silas, he will be able to win the game eventually. Because this Rush Warrior isn't going to prioritize the armor, and there is in 11 damage, 12 damage worth. So technically, with this board will get cleared by the Samuro here. But if this board wasn't cleared, there would be lethal based on armor here. But it looks like Blade Master Samuro is gonna come down to clear out this Rattlegore and the Shield Maiden. Gonna opt to attack the Shield Maiden to preserve health.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like this. It's good, and I agree, it was a lethal setup from Corridon, but still, Corridon not really in a place to worry. Still has 2 brawls, Barov Rancor in hand. Got kind of all the options, and Disco's still looking for just a couple more cards to round out this ETC combo.
Magtheridon. Magtheridon is something that quite interesting. It can't do much right now because there is no way to clear it. So it will have to wait until there's a Blade Storm, very likely. I'm very interested in the fact that he didn't clear off the 5/3 Rattlegore. It's not gonna get punished here. And there is a possibility that Corridon has to respect the armor loss, and he will go for the Magtheridon here. So Maiko...
Yeah, you could look at something like Magtheridon Brawl, which is, again, just a lethal setup.
Yeah, Mag Brawl is a potential lethal. As long as it clears all of the 1/3s, it will clear off all the other minions. And one of the 1/3s lives.
She's gonna live alive. It's unfortunate. You could even just Shield Slam the 1/3. No, we're just gonna leave it alive.
Nah, he doesn't have a second Shield Slam left, and he wants to save it in case of a combo possibility. I don't think that
Playmaker.
I don't think there's a lethal setup
ETC.
here. You might just want to get rid of you can fully clear out this Rattlegore though, just by playing little threats because it's a 4/4 right now. It just depends on how much mana you want to spend towards it. We see Troublemaker still in hand as a potential option later. Man, this matchup is so interesting.
Yeah, I think he's going for it, and I like going for it. I think I like going for it right now while you know you have a target on the board. This Rattlegore is not going to die, or is always just going to keep coming back to these, right? So I think this is a pretty hefty chunk of damage.
It is.
But actually kind of running out of time to execute.
It just can't lethal is the thing.
Yeah, but I don't mind getting this chunk damage down, and also you're going to get rid of a lot of the armor. Again, if he can get this off, I would have liked to see hitting the little 1/3 into the bulwark first, because it would have been... It's a bit of a waste of damage. Otherwise, it doesn't actually finish the combo. We waited too late to commit to the turn. He could have gotten another, like, 6-9 damage off at least.
And now Barov Rancor is so massive. It gives so much armor. And it will activate Magtheridon as well.
Yep. Barrow of Rancor, an Armor Vendor with the Silas, the Soulbound, and the Shield Slam next turn. It looks like Corridon probably has this in the bag.
I would agree, yeah. Even though the 12/12 wakes up and a 2/2 in a 2/1 Rattlegore spawns. And especially
Oh, it's funny. They actually take damage from the Barrow of Death Rattle.
Yes. Yeah, it's an interesting interaction. I mean, the Rush Warrior can, even with how big they have minions, they actually have used most of their minions. Oh, and he's not going to be able to clear out this. Well, he doesn't know its side. He does not know. He thinks this is Control Warrior. Sure. He doesn't know about the. He also just going to use his broom up here, which will clear off the big minion. However, we see without the armor up here that Armor Vendor should create lethal. I think, yeah, with Rattlegore attacking face, yes. With Rattlegore attacking, no. Okay. Is it actually lethal though? That's my thing. I think it's.
I don't think so.
It's very close. Though it's just barely off. The Armor Vendor giving armor to both opponents actually did it, but Disco doesn't see a way, so because he has no way to really clear up and win here, he's just gonna end up conceding. So it was very close. Oh, nice Jewish owl in the chat, loving the Control-y Warrior deck.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. It was a really interesting inclusion, and now I think going up 2-1 for Court, and Disco just has one class left.
Yeah, Disco is down to his priest. So.
But as we were talking about earlier, we're pretty sure that's just where Corridon wants him.
Yes, Corridon. This is where Corridon wants.
On the priest still has Control Warrior with the OTK, followed by a Control Warlock is going to make two really tough matches for Disco.
Yeah.
Oh. Disco has some win conditions of his own.
Is he playing? He's playing
Yogg-Saron.
Oh, he's playing a top-heavy priest deck. He's running.
Yeah, he's got a Yogg in hand. We're also seeing Fairground Fool. Auspicious Spirits. This is an interesting priest deck.
Oh, it's Corrupt Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's smart. I think going with the Corrupt Priest here, knowing that Corridon was probably targeting Priest, right? Seeing the lineup, I like this. Just getting some win conditions is going to make the series a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Corridon does have Magtheridon and Bladestorm in hand, which could be a problem.
Yeah, so, Magtheridon is very good against Priest decks, but actually, it's not great against Priest, and the reason is because of Shadow or Death existing as a card. So he'll really have to pick his spot when he plays it. This
we see that Disco has two.
Yeah, he doesn't know that there's two, but I think Corridon will expect at least one. And that Elucia is going to be big.
Is going to provide some safety. Elucia will be big, and also it's important to note that Corridon doesn't know that this is Corrupt Priest yet.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So could end up maybe surprised by some of the inclusions, but we'll see. We'll see what Disco wants to do here.
Yeah, it depends on if he wants to play out the Auspicious Spirits. Now, he just trades off the two thing. He just trades off the Scorpids and then will raise dead his Scorpid back. So very, very, thoughtful play there. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I think it's smart.
Yeah.
Just using the raised dead. We are going to see, Magtheridon come down. Only 3 health minions on the board, so the Bladestorm could work on the next turn. Even has Faceless Manipulator, right? Maybe for the
he's about to learn. He's about to learn what deck this is. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
That was kind of exactly the draw that Disco wanted to see.
Yes, yes. The
This is really smart. Putting the Scorpid in is actually going to remove the option to Bladestorm this. Corden would
yes.
need to commit a brawl, and even that's
Oh,
not
he
a
will.
guaranteed wake up from back there. No.
Exactly. It's not guaranteed, but it does happen. It
He does
will.
find it.
This will unfortunately be met by a Shadow Word Death, but it's. But I don't think Corden cares so much about that in this matchup. This is the type of matchup where he's gonna go for 30 armor to try and win.
Yeah, but he's going to have a bit of a hard time getting there, right? Could even look to
Sure.
play like Auspicious Spirits now, Fairground Fool, 1 mana 4/7 taunt. Like,
Yeah.
there's some big minions in Disco's hand.
2 mana 7 cost minion gets the cursed vagrant, which will come back with a stealth version of it once it's removed. Outrider's Axe drawn to hand. Probably gonna play it and swing, yeah. So this 7/5 is not gonna get removed right away, and Corden does have double minefield, so anything up to like pretty much anything up to 10 attack would just 10 defense would be completely removed. But we're gonna see this Fairground Fool come out.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind even putting this Power Word Fortitude onto the Cursed Vagrant. We've already seen one brawl, right? You're not weak to Bladestorm here.
Yeah.
You're a little, I mean, it could be like Bladestorm Minefield would be a clear, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind just going face either. I think Cursed Vagrant's a decent enough minion, one of the better options from the Auspicious Spirits. Getting sticky minions is always powerful. It looks like he's probably just gonna Hero Power his own face. Makes sense,
Yeah.
taking it a little slow. Definitely debating the Fortitude, though. I see him hovering over it.
I don't like playing it slow here because you don't want to let this control warrior be able to clear your board up. Like, I think the Power Word Fortitude would have put this match very, very far. It would have, if he had put it on the Fool, it would have been much more difficult to be removed from the board. It would have needed a bunch more of resources than Corden actually has to commit here.
Yeah, and we're gonna see him get kind of punished here by the minefield. If he'd gone with the Powered Fortitude, there wouldn't have probably been as good a clear. Would have had to use more resources, maybe the second minefield to get the stealth minion off the board. But
yeah, and as is, we're just gonna see an information which was picked up from the Scorpion for 2 taunts, including an Alakir. So that's quite a pickup. Yeah.
here could be pretty huge to see. What's that? Insight in the hand, reduced by 2. Pretty easy to corrupt at this point, but not a lot of gas in Disco's hand.
Yeah.
Sort of ran out of minions with the spirits and the Fairground Fool.
Yeah, there is an option just to... I wonder if there's an option just to play Lucia and just try to find the Soulbound Ash Tongue. If you think it's in the hand. And it would allow to dump a couple of things from Corden's hand. But we're gonna go for just for the Samuro Insight to draw a minion. Okay, not bad at all.
I like this. We're not really worried about Samuro Apotheosis in this matchup.
No.
You're either gonna get OTK'd or you're not.
Yeah.
So playing the Samuro just to get a corrupt off. Not terrible. We've got Fairground Fool in the hand again, right? So more options to get onto the board, but and actually we will see that Corden is sort of running out of board clear options. Has Alakir that could come down this turn, but there's no brawls, there's no Barov, there's no Blade Storms in hand, so it's a bit of a minion heavy hand for Corden. Has a lot of combo pieces though.
Yeah, I would like to see I'd like to see Alakir regardless, just because it'll allow Corden to draw. He can attack once into the minion, and then he'll be able to draw with his... He would be able to draw with his weapon. He might just double trade it, though, which would make sense. He doesn't want to draw because he'll go to 10. He'll go to 10 cards again in hand. So he has the option to just hit his weapon into Disco's face, which I guess wouldn't be too bad. It would
I'd like to see it. We have the second Outriders Axe in hand already.
Yeah.
Looking at, he was considering coining the armor vendor.
Okay.
So actually, in this case, if we're coining the armor vendor, I think I would have liked to see him attack his second weapon swing into the Samuro, because it's only 1 damage, and we were already committing to getting rid of 2 more cards in the hand there, so we could have pretty easily drawn another.
Yeah, I don't know if he had fully committed to the armor vendor play. I think he was first trying to figure out if it mattered if he attacked face there, which sometimes it's better to just save it the swing, because like in case of something like a Fairground Fool, which is just going to be a taunt that gets fortituded. So yeah,
fortitude's
one thing that's
up towards where it normally is.
One thing that's really interesting is Corden has a Faceless Manipulator in his hand.
He does. I wouldn't mind to see it on.
I wouldn't mind to see it on the Fool, because then he'd be actually corrupting his own Fairground Fool in his hand. He'd just be able to put some big minions in, and yeah, he can't.
I think his is already corrupted.
Is it? It is corrupted, so he wouldn't need to. He wouldn't need to play that to play the corrupted version.
Yeah, I think it corrupted with Alakir. So I actually wouldn't mind. If we can find some way to clear the Fool, I wouldn't mind Faceless Manipulator on Alakir and just start pushing a lot of damage.
Alright, he's gonna opt for he might opt for something with a Barov. Which wouldn't be too bad. I was wondering if there was an option to play the Silas, but I don't think you want to give up. I don't think this game demands you give up your win con. The one thing about this Focus Will is Focus Will is going to be super clutch. Oh. He does it. Yeah.
He's actually doing it. This is really interesting. The other option I think he was looking at was something like Barov trade in the 1/4 and then Manipulator the Alakir and start pushing damage. But I like this too. It's going to take control of the board, and I think he has a bit of a read that Disco doesn't have much to clear with in this hand. Doesn't have a lot of gas in this hand either. So,
and I agree with that completely.
Raised Dead could find some options. Finds another Samuro. No Apotheosis to go with it though. So still not going to be able to clear Alakir.
So there's an option either use your Death or your Focused Will here on this 7/8. He definitely wants to remove it. So I think using the Death here is probably what's going to happen. And honestly, the wave of apathy coming out of Wandmaker is nice. It'll keep Corridon from getting back into the game right away. Where I think the Faceless Manipulator wasn't seen, but we know that he probably would have just gone with the Faceless Manipulator play there, and that would have been pretty huge. Now getting this Fairground Fool out, which can't die to anything, but could potentially just only get silenced, and would just be a 4. It would just end up being a 4/9, a 4/10 without font, I believe it is. But
yeah, that's what would happen. So I like the play. I like the Wave of Apathy. It's absolutely a stall tactic, and it gets this one spell closer to Yogg. So if we can get the Focused Will down this turn, then we could Yogg on the next turn. But
yeah,
gets a good hit from the Blackwing though. It kills the Alakir.
That is really good. This Faceless Corruptor for the Blackwing would just be insane. It's because it would clear the Blackwing for Corridon without having to like really do anything against it, and I'm interested.
I agree.
We do see corrupted clowns. We do see the corrupted clowns in Disco's hand, so
that's true. There is Blade Storm to answer those. There is Barov
Rancor. Yeah, like clowns is not great in this matchup. I would just like to see this. Alright, we're gonna go for the removal. Shield Slam Coerce. He wants to save the.
With the amount of times that Corridon has passed on good tempo Faceless Manipulators, I'm wondering if the Manipulator's here for a specific reason.
I believe it is, and I haven't figured it. I think it might be saved for Gore, because even if the Rattle Gore gets Focused Will, it's still a 9/11. world domination. So clowns come on board. Draconic studies can find a second Blackwing or Proto Drake or a Mage Scribe. All good
Yeah,
options.
3 of the
All
better
great
high cost
options.
dragon options.
Yeah,
Goes to the Proto Drake, and important that Yogg-Saron is now playable, is now ready to go. So
yeah.
if he wants to use it, I'm expecting just a Blade Storm.
Yeah, he'll just Blaze Storm the board, and he'll have a 4/3. He'll be able to push 7 damage to face. I wouldn't be like, I think now you can set up 2-turn. I think you should just play the Manipulator here. Doesn't go for it. Okay.
I think at this point he is committed to saving this Manipulator for Rattlegore. The amount of good
I don't.
Rattlegores. Yeah, I would have again. I would have liked to see it too.
He's not
It
under
would have set
threat.
up exactly lethal.
Yeah, so we're gonna play out some Yogg and see what Yogg does. Gives field boards with minions, and his minions have rush. Yeah, this is something that swings the game a little. But as long as one thing from Corridon's hand lives, he gets Bear of Rancor. As long as he gets one thing killed. This whole thing is gonna go away.
Disco came out absolutely on top in terms of minion choice.
100% he gets better minions.
And these are some pretty darn bad minions for Corridon, some pretty darn good ones for Disco.
Yeah.
I agree. We'll see that it doesn't matter. Bear of Rancor could come down and almost sort of just end the game. We'll see what trades he wants to make here. I feel like you have to kind of clear the board. Oh, he can't actually clear the board.
Can't full clear the board, but I don't think there's a way unless there's a rush. There's no rushers on the board, so there is no way to actually there's no actual way to win here.
I'll say that this Gnarg is actually going to end up being pretty impactful as well, because we could Bear of Rancor this turn, and the 2 swings with the Gnarg would also represent lethal.
Yes.
Over the next 2 turns.
Corridon spots it, I think.
I
would definitely think he's going to Bear of Rancor here. It gives him so much armor, and he can just use his Outrider's axe swing here. He's going to use it on the...
Looking for draw. I think he's looking for Rattlegore to sort of end the game.
He found Blade Fist, I think so that's good for next turn, because this game will go on to another turn.
I agree. Kargath is good, but I think the game plan here should be saving Manipulator and Coerce for whatever Disco's next big threat is.
Yeah.
You Manipulator, Coerce this Proto Drake when I assume it comes down this turn, and that's going to be a pretty clean way to end this game. Although Vash Prime is an option.
Let's draw some spells here. We'll see what spells get drawn.
I think that's good. Because Disco's been lacking all game in like board clear options, stuff like, I don't know that he runs things like Soul Mirror, but if he does, it would be nice to find them. Palm Reading.
So
Renew. I think Lady Vash is very powerful.
Lady Vash is very good here. The main thing is that he got what, 4 out of the possible 9 discount on his cards, because he drew a 0-cost spell that he did get Apo. So Apotheosis here. It's 2 Gift of Luminance, and then has Apotheosis.
Yeah, it took Gift of Luminance this first time. Could take Apotheosis this time. Has Samuro in hand.
Does take the Insight
also, Raise Dead is an option. Could look for another Yogg.
Yeah, he's gonna potentially. He's gonna play Luminance here. So that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and I don't mind not healing in spots like this, especially when we've already seen Silas. I think it's pretty clear that he can't just die.
Exactly. So a lot of this board's gonna get cleared out with just like Minefield plus Coerce. Could opt to Brawl first, but I don't necessarily like that.
Yeah, there's lots of options here.
Yeah.
Minefield and Kargath. Most things clear the board here, but
I think if you're gonna play Bulwark, you want to swing with the. I think he hovered over Bulwark. I don't know if he'll play it this turn or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't love it. We're at 22 armor. I feel like we're not under much pressure, and getting the most out of the damage from these swings as we can,
Mhm.
I think it's going to be powerful, especially when your opponent's at 10 life.
Yes. So the priest is at 10 life. So we'll see how this plays, and hopefully it does clear the one. It doesn't, but he will just be able to Kargath it. So Kargath coming in.
Yeah, a little unfortunate on the hits there, but isn't really going to matter.
Yes.
Kargath, weapon hit. Manipulator would be decent for Kargath Prime as well, so finds Apotheosis anyway. So passes on 2 Apotheoses last turn and then gets it anyway, so never punished.
Yeah, not quite punished. We're gonna see Samurai Apotheosis here. This Kargath Prime is going to be so massive. There's 6 cards left in deck, and one of them's Rattlegore, and one of them's Kargath Prime. This priest is healing up, but a lot of the main threats of this deck, besides the clowns, is gone. Let's see, maybe it'll give back a corrupted clown. It does. So there's going to be a couple of clown boards.
And the second one is one of them, Agtherodon 1/3. It's not the most powerful, but we have Rattlegore here now. Can't clear the Samuro, but not really very relevant.
Yeah.
We've got Rattlegore, we've got Manipulator.
So, yeah, the main thing that needs to happen is the clowns need to come down here, but with the focus. Focus will silence the Rattlegore, so it won't keep respawning. Which is a big issue, because essentially this Rattlegore is only gonna have 1 life. And it's gonna get interrupted by a full board of clowns.
Yeah.
And there is no other Blaze Storm which would force out Brawl.
Draws into Kargath immediately as well, draws both the threats, but I think this is sort of this silence on the Rattlegore is the punish we were talking about with the Faceless Manipulator, right? There were so many good tempo options for Corden to use Manipulator earlier in the game that now he's punished with silencing the Rattlegore that he was waiting so hard for.
Yeah.
And it is going to be difficult to remove these without a Brawl.
We'll see how Corden opts to handle this. I don't necessarily think that the lack of Manipulator. I like the single trade first. So the Rattlegore doesn't live, but now there's a clown that gets contested by Shield Maiden. Yashiraj picked up though. That is big. This Corrupt Priest is now looking like it might be able to just straight up outvalue this Rattlegore, this Control Warrior deck.
It really is. Disco's starting to really just draw into all the threats, and other than this Kargath Prime, I don't really know what Corden has left. Yeah. Yes, Corden would win in a straight fatigue battle, but with another full board of clowns, a Proto Drake here, Yashiraj in hand, I doubt that we'll ever get just a straight fatigue battle, so...
Exactly.
We'll see. Maybe Scorpid can save us.
Yeah, and the Kargath Prime is something that'll help a lot in this matchup. Venomous Scorpid is fantastic because it will allow for Corden to maybe just find another spell. There's another Brawl. That's pretty huge. So
yeah, this Brawl is, we can see it'll be massive when the Carnival Clowns come out.
Yeah.
Looking at maybe a Manipulator on the Proto Drake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gets his own Proto Drake. Hero powers up. Yeah.
I like it. I wouldn't mind to see Disco do something like hit face and pop the Shadow Word Ruin here, but we'll see.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too
New
bad.
gives some more options.
I'm wondering when he's gonna pull the trigger on this board of 5 clown, on this 5 mana clown board. Because Yashiraj will give back 2 clowns and will give back some other stuff. But because of how many things have been corrupted this game, he really needs to wait on that on that if he wants that full value from the Yashiraj, because he's played a lot of corrupted things. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be lots of clowns coming back to the hand, and I think I agree. Dumping as much of the hand, aside from possibly a Lucia, as possible before playing the Yashiraj is really going to matter. We see Rancor not really going to be a helpful card.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be another brawl.
Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. The best win for Corridon is either is obviously one of his 2 minions winning, but probably the Venomous Scorpid winning, where he can just then remove the minion that you can just remove like the minion that comes out of the Proto Drake. Let's see which minion wins this brawl. And it's not gonna be that, it's gonna be a clown.
Gonna be a clown, yeah, both Drakes kicked out.
Yeah.
Double Sociologist Militia.
Yeah, that's awesome. Double Sociologist.
The Manipulator copied more than just the Proto Drake.
Yeah, I guess.
Copied what was inside it as well.
Yeah, that's such an unintended interaction. I kind of just want to see Bulwark. I mean, I guess you don't really want to see Bulwark here if you're Corridon. You really just want to wait. He's really out of resources, unfortunately. His Kargath is in hand, but another board of... Well, like, Yashiraj coming down here, if it gives clowns, it'll be very tough to deal with. And the Lucia but the Lucia isn't obviously going to be able to take the Prime, but the Lucia could take like the Bulwark, and that would also be pretty bad for the Warrior. That would mean no way of surviving stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I think saving Lucia till after Yashiraj, though, is going to be
for sure
kind of important. I'm trying to look at what else does Corridon have left in the deck. Just drew another Shield Slam, so
yeah,
there could be another Shield Maiden, I think.
Yeah, there'll be
second Ash Tongue, maybe.
Second Mirror. Oh, no second Ash Tongue. It'll be I think his last cards are probably might be something like Broomstick and Shield Maiden, or maybe a second Manipulator. We have seen a lot of his deck. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I'm like absolutely missing.
Oh my
yeah,
god. This is gonna be
now
really hard to deal with. That's 2 more clowns in hand, I think.
Yeah, there's still 2 more.
Yeah, Shield Maiden. Still wondering what the last card could be.
There's still 2 more things to clown. Now Corridon will be able to keep gaining the armor. So he's not in that much. He's not in danger for still a few turns of losing. He's got their 41
But I really
armor.
don't think that whatever this last card in Corridon's deck has to be some kind of a miracle, because at this point it's looking like he's just gonna get clowned to death.
Yes, I agree. He's gonna take 14 this turn if Disco wants it, but Disco also might just start trading in all of his minions, and then he'll just probably trade everything in and then literally just play another board of clowns, and from there I don't see where Corridon... Oh! He's actually gonna use Soul Mirror to gain armor. Okay.
Soul Mirror's gonna gain death armor.
Yeah.
I like it.
Priest does.
I don't think you're ever gonna use Soul Mirror after this.
Yeah, this Priest deck.
Priest gets some
really
armor, and you get so much more clown damage.
A little bit of
turn.
misordering on the attacks. Just recognize it right away. Yeah, he attacks with the Yashiraj instead of attacking with all the clowns first. It is South Sea Scoundrel.
South Sea Scoundrel. 1 copy of South Sea Scoundrel.
He does find Scorpid, so Scorpid might be able to find something. Finds Bladestorm. Okay.
Clear.
It clears part of the board. It doesn't clear the Yashiraj though. He takes Athletic Studies, finds Broom, or finds
Just looking for a miracle.
He's just gonna concede.
Doesn't find it, goes with a concede. And we're gonna go to a game 5 here, 2-2 from Disco and Corridon. What an interesting matchup. I don't think I've ever seen the Corrupt Priest Control Warrior matchup. I don't run into it on ladder very often.
Yeah, I don't either. That's a really, really fun deck to watch, and we'll get to see here again, as Corridon's gonna have to play the Warlock into it, and honestly, Warlock has a super good matchup into Priest, including this Priest, so, yeah. Yeah,
the addition of some threats is gonna help. Obviously, Yashiraj deck versus Yashiraj deck, and I think Disco's list is decently greedy enough where maybe the matchup gets improved, but Ticketus immediately.
Ticketus and Sociologist in the hand to start. So we'll see how this plays out, obviously. Yep.
With an Ogremancer, it's a rough matchup for sure, but we'll see.
Yes, I must first interrupt to say, ladies and gentlemen, we have the best words in all of Hearthstone. Game 5. Alright, there we go. Now we're back to the game. Gotta do my boy Brushy Tuna correct. We've got Corridon on the Warlock. We've got Disco on the Corrupt Priest. Let's see how this plays out. Spirit Jailer drawn turn 3, I guess, with that plus a tap. Fairground Fool looking like it might just come out as Uncorrupted.
Ooh. Yeah.
So
Uncorrupted Fool, I like it. It corrupts the Insight.
Indeed it does. Corridon can just play out the Venomous Scorpion here if he wishes to. Has the option to also go for School Spirit and clear. Alright. I like it.
Yeah, it's going to look for the School Spirits. It's not a card that has many applications in this matchup, so I don't mind using it on a 4-3.
I like it because we're playing Militia on 7.
Yes.
So, next
we have another thing to consider.
A very nice curve here, honestly, with cards that are pretty much going to make this this Cascading Disaster really nice, really fast.
Yeah. I know I'm a big fan of the Skeletal Dragon pickup. I'm a bit of a Skeletal Dragon enthusiast in Priest decks.
Skelly Dragon's very nice. Got it off of Draconic Studies. Always a good pickup, especially against... It might actually do some decent work here, but it will just soak up Militia hits. More likely than not.
Yeah, but this is nice too from Corridon. Ogremancer corrupts the Lucky Soul Hoarder that was just drawn. Yeah. We're going to get to see probably even more Soul Fragments before Militia.
Definitely. And just unable to play really anything, and Corridon just has a free trade there. Could even go for Cascading, but I would like to see it get corrupted another time, so that way it can just kill 3 things. That way it can kill 3 clowns later in the matchup.
Yeah, I think Cascading's a bit of a higher value card than you're looking to play this turn. You could see something like second Ogremancer, or maybe just Scorpid Lucky Soul to spend all of our mana, but it's going to corrupt it again with the second Ogremancer.
Yeah. So we'll see the Skelly Dragon come out here. The Elucia is a very good could be a very good card in this matchup eventually. However, it's not going to be able to come out before Ticketus gets corrupted here. So Elucia is just kind of not a great card in this matchup. We're going to get to see the full clear of the board by the Soul Fragments. And then an extra 6
damage. Now that Ticketus is corrupted, I agree. Elucia's pretty immaterial, and this is a big board of Ogremancer's, right? So it's hard for Disco to deal with. Has a Soul Mirror that could maybe...
Wow, and this is why it was so key to get that. This is why it's so key to get the corruption on the Cascading.
Uncorrupted Clown.
But Corridon does not care. Corridon will just play Ticketus. Takes out the Yashiraj. Takes out the Yogg. Renew gone. Buy Apotheosis.
It's
Goodbye,
doomed.
Auspicious Spirits.
It's doomed.
That's huge. Corridon has cleared
There goes
out.
Yashiraj. There goes Yogg-Saron.
The win cons are starting. The win cons are starting to go away.
Yeah, they're pretty quickly disappearing. And while this board can be cleared, alright, I mean, Corridon still has Yashiraj in the deck, and Disco no longer does. So
the big card...
We'll see if he can pull it out.
So the big card in this matchup now isn't really Yashiraj, but it's Jiraxis. Jiraxis is going to be so key, because constant 6/6s is stuff that Priest can't necessarily deal with. We do see at least there's Double Deso could deal with it a couple of times. There's another Skeletal Drake. And Corridon picks up the Twisting Nether in hand. Plays corrupt.
I almost wanted to just Nether to corrupt the Strongman.
Yeah, that's Yeah,
No, it's a ballsy play.
Yeah, that's
I
ballsy.
wanted to see it. I don't think it was right.
I think we just take Soul Shear here because you're gonna want more. You're gonna eventually want to have a lot of soul fragments just to keep yourself topped off.
Not a deck of Chaos Gamer.
Nope.
That's okay.
Nah, no need to deck.
We'll see what Disco competes together with this hand here. There's another Skeletal Dragon. Raised Dead. We could look for clowns.
Does not get it. Instead, he finds two Fairground Fools. They can be corrupted. With the Skeletal Drake.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like Wand Maker was probably worse than those, but it's still not great.
I would
it's
argue
hard
Wand
to
Maker.
Play.
I would argue Wand Maker might actually be slightly better, but yeah,
it's true. Wand Maker can find things like Draconic Studies, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. We do get a Wand Maker, and it finds a Holy Smite, which can take care of that 1/3.
Oh,
Venomous Scorpion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Venomous Scorpion is presenting a real issue. It's really hard to play obviously the Skeletal Dragon while there's a Scorpion on the board. That's the Death's Head Cultist. I've been seeing this in more and more lists now.
Yeah.
Tamsin Rome with Soul Shear with Siphon Soul. This is a good turn for it.
So we're gonna see very nice turn, obviously. Very nice turn from Corridon, getting his Siphon, getting his 2 0-cost spells. They stay 0 cost forever.
Yep, so Disco plays a Skeletal Dragon, knowing it absolutely could just get Siphon sold. But look at maybe this is the Nether strongman turn.
Yeah, potentially.
Just hovering over it.
Because he
has
will.
Cascading Disaster as well.
I believe Twisting being a Shadow Soul would get another one. From Tamsin before Tamsin does die. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There is a world in which just going Disaster's a little better here. And that's what he opts for.
Yep.
So we're just gonna see a tap and the Death's Head Cultist come out.
Yeah, it's nice. We can keep getting value from Tamsin while she's on the board, and we're pushing decent damage even without the strongmen, so
yeah,
I like it. It's a good use of Cascading Disaster, especially now that we've drawn the second one.
Yeah, so Xanish
Dark
comes
Inquisitor,
out.
Yeah, will finally be found. Corrupts the Fool. There's one more Carnival Clown in the deck, one more Raised Dead in the deck, so
yeah. The clowns being used the clowns being used in the ticket is milling away the Yashraj had to feel so bad for Disco because his win con against this deck is essentially make a lot of clown boards because eventually the Warlock would run out of resources. Not very likely.
Yes.
It's not very at this point. I think we could just see Twisting Nether, and it would be fine. There are just ways to clear.
I never mind the Twisting Nether.
There's ways to clear it with the Drain Soul. Yeah, use double Drain Soul. This is corrupted twice, so you would be able to use the cascading against 2 minions, but probably looks like
That's true, but I
wants more 0 cost.
Copy of the Soul Shear.
Yeah, 0 cost spells are indeed good.
And that's 9 fragments in the deck if he plays another one of these Soul Shears.
Yeah, there's currently 8. Track. There's currently 8. Actually, currently 9. So there's now
9,
11.
now 11.
11
we could go to.
So it's gotten so high that my deck. It's gotten so many fragments that my deck tracker has stopped keeping track.
Yeah, me too. I'm at 9+.
Just 9+.
Thank you, HTT.
Yeah, Venomous Scorpion. As long as this Warlock keeps pushing damage, eventually once Jiraxis is drawn, this game just becomes almost unwinnable for a lot of priests. This deck probably stands the best chance though with the amount of board presence it can gather up.
I agree, but I would argue with Yashraj and 1 clown already gone, it's gonna be harder to develop multiple clown boards. You've got 1, maybe 2 left with the clown that you still have in the deck and the last Ray's dead. Draws another Soul Shear and still has Tamsin Roam on the board. So it could just keep valuing this, but I think at some point you're sort of falling into a bit of the Shadow Jeweler Hanar trap, where
Sure.
at some point it becomes better to stop playing secrets and start playing actual cards. But I agree that getting rid of the Scorpions is important.
It'll only become more relevant to play other cards, essentially once... Well, yeah, that's really good. Just get the last corruptions out.
Yeah.
It really only becomes a bit of an issue, and he's gonna start doing it now. I was gonna say it would become an issue if Jiraxis was picked up and then the cards weren't, then Jiraxis wasn't played. But really, at this point, it's just good to get that 6/6 out. It will probably draw out a death here. We do get a Sociologist Militia on the side of Disco, but Militia he won't have any frags in deck, so it's just a 7-mana 5/5 that he really doesn't want to play.
Yeah, not the best pull. The Fairground Fool again is pretty good this time. Corrupted.
Yeah.
Definitely helps. And this Dragonmaw Skystalker is a bit of a pain, but with 2 Soul Shears, it's really not that big of an issue. But will find Lord Jiraxis.
Did find Lord Jiraxis, and now I'm gonna play the Corrupted. Could go for like the Corrupted Hoarder. I know a soul when I smell it. More frags in deck.
I'm going to find some way to clear this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of the Soul Fragments go here just because there's so many. He doesn't. He finds School Spirits. I don't mind playing this here because it will destroy just the 2 minions at least. And then it'll allow Soul Shear and Drain Soul to clear this up and just clear out the hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not bad. We're keeping this Tamsin alive as long as we can and looking to realistically Jiraxis next turn and just start ending the game with powerful 6/6s. Alexstrasza and Onyxia are options here. It's never Circus Amalgam, probably. I think I like Onyxia, but it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been informed that Geranium and Jester are just gonna start in like 8 minutes, and then once we get done with that match, we'll just probably either we can do like a super quick interview with Corden, or we can hop into the next match.
Sure. Hey, assuming that Corridon's gonna win this game, okay?
Yeah.
Hasn't won it yet.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Assuming whoever. I'm sorry. No. Assuming
Corden plays Lord Jiraxis this turn.
No,
I
wasn't.
Corden after
No,
this game.
I wasn't. I forgot what the game score.
No, the game score is probably about to be 3-2 Corden. Realistically, I mean,
yeah, I thought it was
fighting hard.
For some reason I thought it was like 2-1. So I was like, oh, if he wins. But yeah, it's game 5.
No, he's presumably going to close this game in the next few turns. There's 2 deaths in Disco's hand. There's still a Mind Render, so can keep holding out for a little while longer. Actually, opting not to play Jiraxis. I go for more Tamsin value. It's another Siphon Soul. I think that's almost every shadow spell in the deck has been played with Tamsin. We played both Soul Shears.
Nope, sorry.
Now we're playing a School Spirits. We played both Siphon Souls.
This is the last one. Then Tamsin can
This may be the record highest value Tamsin Roam.
Yeah, now it gets to rest finally. No, it doesn't because it's gonna live. The only thing more it could do is...
but I think we're out of spells for her to copy.
I think we actually are.
Hysteria. You can copy Hysteria.
Oh, Hysteria, yeah, of course. 7 mana, 5/5 incoming, it looks like. Okay.
Fine. It corrupts our Auspicious Spirits, which we're going to play now. Let's see it. If we can get a good 7-drop here, it's another 7 mana, 5/5.
Yeah, not great.
Yep. Not great. Got very few cards left in deck too. 5, so we're looking at Samuro, second Scorpid, second Clown, second Raised Dead, and an Insight or something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know if I listed 5 cards, but
Lord.
it's those cards are all in the deck.
Mhm.
Whether or not there's one more. But yep, I like this. We're getting Jiraxis down. We're getting our first of many 6/6s. Even though this one's the strong man.
Yeah,
Clearing some board and setting up damage.
Yeah, and this 6/6 has taunt. Gonna draw.
This one does. It's a little better.
Gonna draw a Death and an Onyxia. So I'm guessing. Actually, we do have 2 more left, which would be Twisting Nether and Hysteria. But I think we're finally gonna see this Tamsin go away.
Twisting Nether as well.
So Tamsin, we see Samuro drawn costing 2. There's no Appos left in
Samuro
deck.
drawn, but we already used the Apotheosis.
Yeah, this Twisting, there should just be Twisting Nether hero power here. For Cord, and he has so many cards in deck that are just soul frags at this point. I think now he's finally dropped below 10.
Yep.
He runs 2 Nethers. So
yeah, he's back down to 9. That's the first Nether. Get a 6/6 on board, and really Disco's running out of resources quick. So
yeah.
2 cards left in deck. I believe they're guaranteed to be Carnival Clown and Raised Dead.
Yes. So he does pick. He is gonna get his Raised Dead now. Opting to draw. He kind of just knows what's happening here. The clowns, even if he gets them, they're not. The clowns aren't corrupted. He can't corrupt, and he cannot corrupt the second set of clowns. And Hysteria here. Well, Hysteria wouldn't really do much if it doesn't hit the other one.
Could look for a dragon to corrupt the clowns. Oh.
No,
I guess the only dragon that could corrupt them is the 10 cost Deathwing that would go down to... No, it would go down to 9. So you can't even corrupt them with that.
So he would have to... no, his clowns cost less. So they would have been able to be corrupted by a 9 or 8 cost because of Xanash. Yeah.
I actually wouldn't have minded to see. I think there was a sleepy dragon there. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was like... Oh my! That was like 7 soul fragments in a row or something like that.
That's almost all of them. Now
there's
Yashiraj. Yashiraj with ticket. Like Yashiraj ticket doesn't matter. The only thing it does is it puts it 8/8 on board.
Yeah. Which is still powerful.
Yes.
The 2 6/6 taunts will be good as well.
Yeah.
I think that this is realistically looking like just lethal next turn.
Yeah.
There's still the clowns you can play. Okay. You're gonna play the dragon for a taunt, but realistically, it looks like in 1 or 2 turns we're gonna see Corridon take the victory here. It was a hard-fought game from Disco, hard-fought series. With the Corrupt Priest really putting in the work in the last game against the Warrior.
I think you just
2 cards.
I think you just play. Yeah, you just play. You actually just play Yashiraj for the 2 corruption, cascading. For
you're right. Yep, Yashiraj. Cascading
yeah,
disaster
you just
makes
play.
This
You just
off. Oh, but fatigue. That's lethal.
Fatigue is lethal. Yay.
So that's gonna do it. We get the 0 mana 8/8, 0 mana 6/6. Lots of powerful. Finally found Yashiraj at the end and ended the game. Well fought from Disco, but Corridon is gonna take the series
30th card Yashiraj is something.
It was 30th card Yashiraj and 30th card Carnival Clown on the other side.
Yeah.
So both of the decks key cards down there at number 30 would have been helpful for Disco to have 30th card Yashiraj. Actually would have saved him maybe. But well fought from Corridon. I don't know if we're gonna get an interview here or if we're just gonna jump into our next games.
Yeah, there's no time for an interview. I'm just going to send it over to the classic screen. Obviously, congratulations to Corridon on a huge win for his team. Dad Legend definitely needed these points to stay in the series. I don't think they can win the match, but they can definitely put up a lot of points.
I don't think so either. I think Corridon would have needed to... No, actually, there was just no possibility. They could have tied. They could have tied if Corridon and Yellow Dart both swept. But with Corridon taking the 3-2, Dad Legend will end up losing the week to No Pros here. But really, well played from Corridon. Just a well-constructed lineup, really. Which especially in last hero standing, it's a little easier to confidently run into the priest with the target priest lineup. So, just well done. Well played games, and I'm assuming we're going to get into our next match.
Yes, we are. We're going to get right into our legacy match. I will have the bans on the screen for the next match, but the bans are Geranium banned Priest, Jester banned Druid. So we are going to have Geranium as first to spectate, and Jester on the top. The players, fortunately, have not started their match for us, so we get to watch from first mulligan to final HP drop. So,
yep, and it'll be nice. This is actually a pretty important match for the week, as Defiance Brotherhood is, or a pretty important, match for this week, because Defiance Brotherhood has taken 2 wins in the 1 and 2 seeds so far. So if Jester wins this match, if Jester sweeps this match, I believe it absolutely seals the week for Defias, which is really important. This is a really important week for both teams, as Duve and Tonka Defias Brotherhood are tied at 81 points each.
Yeah.
And in a conference that's fighting pretty hard for playoff spots, every point counts. But if Geranium wins this, it keeps Duve and Tonk's hopes of winning the week alive. So it's an important match here.
Let's get into it. Right now, I managed to get one of the bands up, and I'll get the other one up while we spectate the match.
Alright, yep. They're just getting into game 1, so I'm gonna pop in a spectate here.
So Geranium is led with his priest.
Seems like we have
a paladin for
priest versus paladin.
Yeah.
A decent start for Jester's paladin. Knight of Anointment on turn 1, draws Hand of Vidal, generally the best option for draw. Also a Sword of the Fallen if he wants. Wow, draws the Northwatch Commander too. This is kind of all the early game cards you want. You've got Knight, Sword, Northwatch, and Kazakis. So a good start, but some good early game answers from Geranium Battle here too. 2 smites, Sethic for the smites, Wandmaker, so wow, Geranium really just drawing his 2 ofs. 2 Raised Deads, 2 Holy Smites. Gonna play a Wandmaker here. Look to contest this Knight of Anointment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and say it seems like a regular control priest as opposed to the fun corrupt priest that we've seen last game. It's still which build of control priest remains to be seen, but most of them are more or less pretty similar.
Yeah, when it's not corrupt priest and it's just control, it just more or less hinges on how many light shower elementals you play and what type of pretty much what your top end is, because your lower costing cards and your middle costing cards are generally the same, like your 1 through 4s.
Yeah, those are pretty set. Circus Amalgam makes me think it is the N'Zoth variant.
Oh, indeed, it does look like a N'Zoth variant.
And Circus Amalgam is actually a pretty nice tech for that one, especially in more aggressive matchups like the Paladin. So
yeah,
I like it. We'll see if he chooses to do anything here. Both of the secrets, both of the pretty typical secrets are out for Jester, Omayog, and the classic Galloping Savior. So Geranium Battle, it's going to sacrifice a Raised Dead to the Omayog. See if it turns into mana or... Ooh, okay, gets a Pounce. With Holy Smite, that could actually let him clear this Northwatch Commander. And coining something would risk us running into the Galloping Savior, so we'll see what he chooses to do. Ooh. Bit of an ordering error there. We could have at least pounced on the face before triggering the Galloping Savior, but I guess didn't 100% know it was Savior. But still was a pretty safe assumption. And now,
Yeah.
Jester, Hand of Vidal to look for a good trade is an option here. We've got 2 Convictions, which I imagine we're going to save, so we could do something like Hand of Vidal, Red Scale Dragon Tamer, or just Kazakus, but we are going to go with the Hand of Vidal. That's another Broom. Both players really just drawing their 2-ofs. 2 Brooms, 2 Convictions. And yeah, looking at dropping the Red Scale. A powerful early board for Jester. Dranium may have to use both Holy Smites this turn, and if he does, wonder if he'll see the Sethic as well. Ooh, okay. Hysteria could change the play for this turn. You can 2-for-1 with Hysteria on pretty much either of the 2 big minions. But I'd prefer to see it on the Holy Steed if done, actually, because then you could get lucky and get all 3.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the line we saw first, actually, though, Sethic, Holy Smite on the Northwatch Commander. See what he gets. Gets a Desperate Prayer. Probably not as useful this turn, so is going to cast the second Holy Smite as well. As many cards as possible. Devouring Plague could end up being useful, but I doubt there are giants in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Jester can and probably will just clear off the Sethic here. Could do it with a Broom, actually, if he wants to be a little cheeky. I think we're looking at a 5 cost. Yeah, it's a 5 cost Golem with Stealth and Summon a Copy. It seems like we are going to see a Broom. Yep, I like it. Trade the Kazakus into the Sethic, push 3 more damage.
Yeah. Oh, we see a Light Shower.
We do. It's a pretty key card in the N'Zoth variant of Priest. Key in most variants, honestly. But looking at a Raised Dead this turn could find what another Sethic, perhaps. Hysteria is a board clear if he wants it, but could also be saving Hysteria for the Golems. He's assuming will come down pretty soon, so we'll see. It's an interesting turn. There's arguments for most of the cards in Geranium's hand, but I like the Raised Dead, giving more options. That is, importantly, the second Raised Dead played. Yep. And a good Devouring Plague with the hero power spends all of the mana, clears off 2 of the minions, but Jester's going to get to just redevelop with either these Golems or a bunch of 1-drops.
Yeah.
Some not terrible 1-drops. Bosch Burglar and Wand Thief, both good value options.
All right. I bet Geranium really wishes he had Zyrella here. That'd just be so clear.
Yeah, Zyrella would be quite powerful with the Flash Healers or the Desperate Parents. True.
Yeah, both honestly. I'm wondering if you ever just go for a Draconic Studies here, especially because it's very likely you're playing out the You could play out the Circus Amalgam if you did that, but looks like hovering the Light Shower Elemental. I'm gonna opt to play that, which would take both the 3/2 and a 5/5 to clear, but would heal 8 damage to Geranium's face. I don't think there's any way for that to be stopped. There is a Wand Maker in hand, so could go for like Swashbuckler plus Wand Thief. We're just gonna see Conviction Wand.
I like this.
Conviction Wand Thief. I like it.
Conviction finds the Holy Steed, which is important. Um,
Yeah.
Not incredible options, but combustion's pretty powerful. Could even
Yeah.
clear this without the steed now if you played broom and combustion. So you could actually, I kind of like it. I kind of want to see him clear the light shower without the steed and then push fair amount of damage would be pushing like.
Yeah, I think he might even just go trade the 5/5 hit with the 2 hit with or yeah, well no way you can play that now. Just gonna equip and attack and hit face for looks like 15. So lethal
Still a lot of damage.
lethal threat on board, but it should be dealt with to the point where it can't be killed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's rough.
There it is. That's exactly what you were talking about last turn for these golems. Unfortunately, they did get one round of hits in, but the Zyrella is still presumably going to come down with either a flash heal or a desperate prayer or both. Covering Hysteria though.
Okay. I mean, there's a
Might
chance.
not consider this board enough of a threat.
Yeah, I mean, it could if the hits go correctly, they could have cleared the whole board. Doesn't hit the full board clear. Opts for a Draconic Studies, Malagos, Sleepy Dragon, Brightwing. I mean, Malagos isn't terrible here. Especially if you run a second, especially with Desperate Prayer. You could just go Malagos and then play Desperate Prayer on the same turn. Sleepy Dragon's also a good option. It's a taunted 4/12 minion that this paladin has to deal with. Opts for the Malagos.
Yeah, Malagos is nice. Sleepy Dragon also a powerful option. I won my legacy match with a Draconic Studies Sleepy Dragon.
Ah, that makes me very happy. Yeah. So we have a Knight of Anointment into Hand of a Doll. Draws Dragon Ball Sky Stalker. So this is my Menagerie Paladin.
Yep, it is. We see the Stalker and the Carousel Griffin in hand.
Yeah, you're
now,
right.
Alexstrasza in hand now too, so I like this play.
Yeah,
they're pushing a lot of damage so that we can maybe look to just pop him with Alexstrasza.
Yeah, Geranium will very likely be forced to clear off this board, with something that looks like that's a Ethereal Log Merchant, which won't have too much of an impact on this game. Could just opt to use it on,
on his Swashbuckler.
Just to use it on the Swash and not on the 1/1.
Playing around
Hysteria.
Hysteria?
Yeah, plays around its second Hysteria here. I don't know if I would be.
I
don't know if I'd be so much concerned about
cute.
that. It's a good play, honestly. Like, second Hysteria doesn't necessarily full punish though. I mean, then the 2/1 I guess would live in that case if it hit. However,
sure. There's nothing you can do to play around this Flash Heal Desperate Prayer Renew Zyrella, so
yeah, we'll see.
I like it. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think it guarantees lethal in like one extra scenario.
Definitely. So Geranium is deciding probably if he wants to use, like, how much of the heal he actually just wants to use right now. Opts for just Zyrella, and he has to use the Desperate Prayer here. Okay, actually no, because
he doesn't have to if he plays the Amalgam.
You're right.
So I
you're
like
right.
this.
Sorry,
I think
yeah,
with the guarantee of the Amalgam, you're out of range of Alexstrasza, but only barely. It's still a really dangerous option. I would like to see.
I think.
Yeah, we're gonna see the Stalker.
Yeah,
maybe a Broom alongside it.
I like this a lot. It sets up the potential for a 2-turn, especially, or it sets up this corruption, on the already corrupted Carousel Griffin. Me not paying attention to when cards get corrupted.
What's it? I thought this was the first corruption of it.
Oh, okay, then it was corrupted here. I
think this was the first corruption. Yeah, because I think he drew the Sky Stalker either. Last turn
makes sense. Yeah, so now it's corrupted. For some reason, I didn't see the animation of it corrupting.
Oh yeah. I like this. Playing out the Broom. We get Oh My Og to prevent
Yeah,
some fringe
I would like to see
scenarios.
attack.
We'll see it prevent some heal.
I'd like to see an attack here as well, but we don't see it.
Doesn't do it. Yeah, I would have liked to see it too. I
And
think
now I think
throwing it
that
face is not bad.
I
Why
think
do we
I think the Desperate Prayer is
throw
nice
away the
here.
Desperate Prayer?
Yeah, you always do that. And there's also a chance you get some mana, but it turns into a pound, so another opportunity
Again.
to attack.
That's the second pounce of the game
Yeah.
for Geranium Battle. We'll see Renew doesn't find any more healing,
Okay.
but
Palm Reading.
Palm Reading and Feast are not terrible options. Yeah, Palm Reading, and we can still play the Amalgam this turn as well.
Yeah, Palm Reading is good because it's just another Discover card.
Yep. I wouldn't mind the Holy Smite. Holy Smite's actually really powerful here because we can play the, Smite this 5/2. You can trade Zyrella into the 3/4 and then play the Amalgam. You can clear the Broom if you want to.
Yeah, and then you just play the third Amalgam of the game.
I like it. Really nice pickup.
Or no, that's the second Amalgam, I guess.
And Jester is once again just barely denied
Yeah.
lethal. The Combustion on the Zyrella is going to make it really difficult for Geranium to avoid lethal for one more turn. We'll have to find,
Yeah.
I don't know, some powerful option.
Realistically, it would be Malagos into a second Desperate Prayer that would be able to be played this turn.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's this too.
honestly,
Light Shower
that's
or
really good.
Nazoth saves it for a turn.
That's really good too. Yeah, I think that's more. I think you want to take the. I would definitely want to go for the more guaranteed line here.
I like this.
Yeah, you're guaranteeing yourself.
I like playing the Suffolk.
You're guaranteeing yourself that you survive. While as Malagos, it's not 100% that you're going to draw the cards you want. So I like this, and I think Desperate Prayer was actually a discovered card. So he doesn't very likely run one in the deck. So that would make sense.
Yeah, I think the only playable Malagos finds would be Draconic Studies or Renew.
Yes.
So Renew, realistically, you're never Malagosing into Draconic Studies when you're this far behind in life total.
Yeah, but Malagos Renew just would.
Babbling Book finds Counterspell.
Okay. So Northwatch can come out.
Which gets a draw off of Northwatch. Yeah, that's funny.
Huh. I guess.
Actually, this is an interaction I had the other day. I would like to see the Cogmaster played while it has Carousel Griffin value.
Yes.
But realistically, not a huge deal. We'll see what Geranium can pick up. Nazoth is still
definitely worth
the big
playing.
draw. Soul Mirror.
Yeah, look at that value right there. Coggers.
Look at that. Come on.
Coggers.
Coggers. Very rarely see this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wand Maker, Malagos. Maybe it's Wand Maker because you can find
Renew.
You could go Wand Maker. Oh, whatever you do is gonna get countered, so it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah. So this is just a. It should just end up being game because it's gonna be counterspelled and not you
can see that.
Yeah.
Jester has lethal. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe it's Wand Maker into Renew into
something.
I don't know, into Soul Mirror, but with Counterspell.
Yes.
It's not going to matter. Geranium weighing his options. Whether Malagos or Wand Maker is the more likely save.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have to go with the Wand Maker regardless. You have to give it a shot. And he'll see the counter spell and be sad.
Yeah.
This is Conquest
Wand Maker
format.
gets you more chances than Malagos does.
This is indeed like there's not lethal showing on board, but there is lethal in hand. There's lethal in hand with the Alex. So Jester should just attack with everything and play the Alex, and that'll be a game win for Jester here. Gonna get to exact 8 and Alexstrasza. Okay, so Priest not getting through the Menagerie Paladin, but the Menagerie Paladin is very good into that deck. So
Yeah, the Menagerie Paladin had a bit of a dream start there. Really just got on the board with early tempo and managed to come back from a lot of powerful board clears, right? I think there were like 2 Hysterias and a massive Xyrella played that game, and the Paladin truly never ran out of threats, really displaying why it is sort of the meta-defining deck right now.
Yes. And for sure, like that's just a really good matchup for the N'Zoth Paladin deck in general. It has ways of just obviously getting those massive boards that eventually Priest can't deal with because they just don't have enough clear options for either wide boards or big boards. So we're gonna get here into game 2.
Yeah, we're gonna see Geranium is queuing the Paladin versus Jester's Druid. Oh, and it is a Libram Paladin. As we see, Libram of Hope is in the opening hand, and it is a Clown Druid.
Oh,
it's
this
Clown
is
Druid. So Clown Druid makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Makes sense if you're leaving the Priest up. It's probably better to take the Clown Druid. So we'll see. This is an interesting matchup. One I don't know too well. Ogremancers kept in the opening hand too. Oh, 2 Ogremancers in case of the Token Druid, although still a powerful option against Clown Druid.
Yeah, so Secret Libram Paladin versus Primordial Druid. I want to say it's pretty good for the I want to say it's pretty good here for the Paladin. It's a 50 it's a 50. Actually, it's a 50-50, honestly. Looking at it, it might be slight favor for the Primordial Druid. So we'll see how this plays out. It probably has to do with with like ramp and everything like that. How often that gets played.
As you can see, there is Bloom and Overgrowth.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with guess the weight. Jester a little stumped on which weight to guess.
What was?
Draws a 5-cost card. I'm gonna go with less.
He goes with less because he probably wants it to cost less. Doesn't get it.
See it? Oh, it didn't cost less. Yep.
Oh yeah,
couldn't see what the card was.
It was Twilight Runner. So yeah, that's really tricky because you have a pretty equal amount of lower and higher cost cards at the 5 rank. It's like hitting a 2-drop in Token Druid. You're like, man, what do I actually pick here?
Exactly. It's sort of exactly the same thing. So
Primordial, so
another
it's
shot.
Easy less.
Guess the weight. This time it's got to be less. Come on.
Easy less.
Can't get it wrong twice.
He doesn't. It is an Innervate.
Yep. Draws it.
Cool. I'm so glad that this isn't old. That this isn't old Guardian Animals, because there would just be Bloom Innervate Guardian Animals next time.
That's true.
But instead, we're just gonna see Overgrowth potentially, and that would get Yogged.
Overgrowth into Guardian and we could see the Guardian Animals anyway, actually.
Yeah, so we test for Yogg.
Well, with Yogg, you're right. If Yogg gives us
no Raise Dead, nothing. Now we just see Overgrowth.
Raise Dead. Cool, nothing happens. Yep.
Yeah.
Overgrowth makes sense. We can go into either Primordial Protector or Guardian Animals next turn.
Yes.
Whatever Jester's feeling.
But the ogres here are actually gonna be ogre here might actually be pretty good.
So I think the Overgrowth is the first inclination that Geranium has that this isn't Token Druid. It's the first card,
you're right.
first like non-Token Druid include card
you're
that he's seen. But so I agree. I would like the Ogremancer. He's on 7 mana. Most of his most powerful options are going to be on.
I would rather see a Primordial Protector 8. Here, honestly.
I agree. I think Primordial Protector
although
maybe on the next turn even Bloom the Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, but there is a survival in hand, so maybe there's a temptation to just go Bloom Innervate, rip the survival here, because you're gonna have one turn of pretty much nothing, but then you can get some stuff going on that 10 mana turn. We'll see what Jester opts for. I do prefer the line with that puts a 8 attack that gets a 10 cost minion on the field. I'd prefer that line.
Yeah, 10 costs, 6/6s. We like these things.
Yeah, because if it gets fell cracked, it's just gonna be so tough for this. It's gonna be so tough for Geranium to actually get through.
Looks like
he's gonna play the. He is gonna.
Plays the Lightning Bloom.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna see survival here. Gonna rip a big.
I think the
survival.
deciding factor in that decision is the clown already in the hand.
Sure.
Oh, it's procs of the steed too.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I would have liked to see the Primordial Protector, but I understand the benefit here.
Exactly.
You can
I
still play
too.
Twilight Runner next turn, but you're gonna be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think I just think the fact that he's at 8 mana while Geranium's still at 5, just in a couple of turns it opens up so much more opportunities. You're gonna see a full board of 8/8 clowns in 2 turns, and so that has to clue up Geranium that there's probably at least one clown in hand right now. So it has to.
Yeah, you're never playing survival without a clown.
Exactly. It does get Libram of Hope. So with the amount of taunts and stuff that can be generated by this deck, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a bit tougher for the Druid, but I think this has been pretty much a near perfect curve play out for this Druid, which really puts them in a favorable position. Really nice draws though for Geranium, able to really get some big minions up in play, and this is actually a 2-turn, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was a powerful draw, and you're right.
Quite. It's one off lethal, so it would need.
Oh, there's one off lethal, but there are a lot of draws in the deck that would, right? Second Hand of Adal.
Yeah.
So
that becomes silence. Oh my gosh, Sigil of Silence, but it.
So there's a lot of draws.
Any damage drawn here wins. First Day can.
Oh, First Day of School could present damage.
It could.
You can get Elven Archer. You can get
Tour Guide is not
none
it.
Of those.
That Spy Mistress is not it.
None of those.
Web Spinner is not it. Yeah, it's not it. Which means that all these Librams kind of go away. There's no way to force those minions to attack a minion, so gonna lose the Libram.
The game plan from here is we're gonna see the clowns come down, presumably from Jester next turn.
Yeah.
Game plan for Geranium just has to be like stall and hope to draw Alexstrasza. Alright, put him down to 1 this turn, and then hope you can find some over-the-top damage.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan at all.
It's much harder without
Liadrin will get a couple of these we'll get 2 Libram of Wisdom's back eventually.
Yep, it's true.
Geranium's probably
just
just deciding what he wants to play this turn. What minions he wants to go for. He will go for Spy Mistress, it looks like. Spy Mistress.
Yeah, gonna avoid playing the ogres with the Sigil of Silence on board.
Yeah, I like this. You just send him, like this. Just put him to 1. Definitely.
Hero power.
Obviously, he would have liked to have seen a lethal here, but it's just 1 barely off, and now Sigil of Silence comes out.
Yeah.
Clears up all the taunts. And it's unfortunate.
There were lots of lethal draws.
Yeah, it's gonna be able to attack with this Twilight Runner for draw as well.
Yeah, Broom doesn't really change anything. You still just got a clown or you're dead.
Yeah, I mean you attack face, and then you probably just play
Yep.
Then you just play Carnival Clowns, fill your board with 8/8s.
I believe also I should say Libram of Justice.
Libram of Justice would clear.
Libram
of Justice would clear the board and win the game, but it does not find it. A lot of these decks have been cutting Libram of Justice. So I think that these clowns.
Yeah, it's true.
There's 57 attack on board. I do not think that there's anything that can be done. Well, honestly, getting a Libram of Hope out here is pretty nice because it does put a Divine Shield taunt in the way.
It's nice, but you can clear the Divine assuming that Geranium clears 1 clown here, which I believe is the maximum clowns that
I don't think that Geranium. I don't think Geranium should
do 14 damage.
I don't think Geranium should clear any clowns here. I think he should just gone for that specific play. He just gets 2. He just gets a couple of things back. I guess he's gonna. Okay. I guess he's gonna go for. He's gonna go for the APM play and try to clear off as much as he can.
Wow.
I'm not. I would have rather just the hope, because if he clears out anything, I guess, because he wouldn't be able to play out a whole lot of stuff. I mean, it's just a really rough position. He's
Yeah,
probably
we'll
not
see
winning.
how much he
He's
gets
probably
done
not. He's
here.
probably not winning the game anyways.
Yeah.
So just some APM plays.
I think he's still dead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate
I'm gonna say.
because
Yep.
there was a chance if he didn't do that it was just really, it would just been tough to clear. But obviously there was just way more than enough damage on board. So
Yeah, it was close either way. I agree. I would have liked to see the Lever of Hope, but yeah, you're right. Either way, it probably wouldn't have mattered. There was lethal represented.
Because otherwise you just lose 16 and they're still like 40. They're still like 30 attack on board.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's Druid doing Druid things, honestly.
Jester's gonna go up to 2-0 in the series, I believe, and we're gonna look.
Yeah, he's got to get his
see
rogue.
if Geranium Battle can pull it back here.
We'll see what type of rogue Jester brings, because that's his last remaining class.
Yeah.
There is a chance that the rogue could have a difficult time, especially if it's not poison rogue.
Yeah, it appears to be secret
rogue. Yeah, this is a tough position for Geranium to be in, with a secret rogue being brought out. It's not like Priest can't win this matchup, but rogue gets so much value in this matchup. So it really will come down to things like generating dragons from Draconic studies, and really hitting the prop, really getting nice discovers.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another actually pretty powerful start from Geranium, though. A lot of good answers. Double Holy Smite for the 2 Sparkjoy cheats that we can see in Jester's hand. Could coin out a cheat on this turn. Really not much else to do. Shadow Step, Secret Passage, and Alexstrasza all somewhat dead in the hand, and you're never playing dirty tricks when you have 2 cheats.
True.
Yep, I like this.
The other
going the cheat, we get a thing on the board.
Yeah, gets a second dirty tricks, which means the cheat will be able to activate the other dirty tricks. Does draw Tenwu and draws Mancrick. So there's gonna be probably some debate over Sparkjoy versus Mancrick here for Jester. I might like to put Mancrick in the deck. I might want to try and get put Olgra in the deck. The Sparkjoy cheat does come out and it puts the other dirty tricks. So this Bamboozle has a chance to not trigger off of a Sparkjoy. So interesting situation.
Yeah.
Now, could honestly Shadow. I mean, you don't really want to use Shadow Step on the Sparkjoy, but there was a way where you just held it and I can now do it with Bamboozle. But this.
Sure, I think in this matchup you're looking for higher value Shadow Steps, things like Jandis.
Oh yeah.
And
I
Jandis.
think I'd like to see the Hothead here. Yeah, if you're gonna play a spell.
Yeah. Hothead with the second smite, really strong. Starting to develop your own board. That Rogue will honestly have a really tough time clearing off, really protecting the Sethic really hard. As we can see, there's another Holy Smite still in the hand.
Yeah, I might have liked to use
Idle Yashraj.
It's not really a big issue. I might have liked to have seen the one that was in the deck played, so that way there's kind of that looming mystery on the Discover card. But it's not a great big deal. I'm sure Jester I'm guessing Jester already knows that there's another Holy Smite, and maybe it gives the appearance that there isn't the one from deck because I had to use the one that I discovered. So
or
we'll see.
There's mind games either way, a bit of bluffing, a bit of fun.
Mind games both ways, but he opts to play the one that was discovered by Sethic Veilweaver. Let's get an Idol of Yashraj, and that could come into big handy. Really don't know so much about Miracle Rogue versus N'Zoth Priest per matchup.
Yeah.
But regardless, the prize
An awkward hand.
the plunderer, Michael plunderer, coin plunderer here seems like the play.
Yeah, actually, it is gonna step the plunderer so we can kill the Sethic.
Mhm.
Makes sense, making the most out of a bit of an awkward mana turn. And you've got 2 swindles, so it's not a bad hand to have.
Yeah.
Tenwu Alex as well.
And the old god is
Draws
in the
dissolve.
hand.
Nice. Using the renew. Start to heal it up. We've got our Draconic Studies.
Sonic Death Insight. I think
All of these are decent options.
yeah, I think
Probably not taking Death.
I think it's yeah, I mean I'd be tempted to just take the cheapest option, which is Draconic Studies. But there is Insight, and Insight would get corrupted next turn if Light Shower gets played.
Yeah, both are definitely valid.
Yeah.
Draconic Studies isn't bad. You can find things to do next turn, like Skeletal Dragon. But with the Light Shower Elemental, that's not a huge concern. We'll see. Dranium, having a bit of a hard time deciding, is going to go with the Insight. And now we'll see, do you smite or do you trade? Trades. And actually, just going to play an Uncorrupted Insight with the last 2 mana.
That's fine. There's not much of
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what type of minions are running this deck. I would guess, because I haven't seen it in the Zoth Priest a lot, that it might run. It could even run Alex the Lifebinder. Oh, there is a Kazakus.
I imagine it does probably run Alex. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, interesting choices here. We can throw that on the Kazakus or double Wand Thief. I think it's probably Kazakus.
Yeah,
yep.
drop the Kazamicus.
He's going for the Kazakus. Probably
5 golems are always.
headed for a 5 or a 1. I would look for 5.
Yeah, generally I like 5.
Yeah, I believe that was a 5.
So we'll see what gets picked up. So it is a 5 because of the +2/+2 and the freeze 2. It's a 5. I think, yeah. He might.
+2/+2? Yeah.
Yeah, because he has so much cards in his hand, he doesn't need the draw, so that would be bad. And I guess freezing minions could have actually come into play against this type of deck. I don't think Jester actually knows that. I think Jester does know that this is N'Zoth Priest. So maybe actually picking a freeze.
Yeah, I believe
would have been
from the amalgams the last time we saw the priest.
Yeah.
Jester should know that this is N'Zoth.
Yeah. It's
a couple options
tricky,
here.
yeah.
We could see the amalgam. We could see the light shower.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind amalgam. Holy Smite or amalgam trade heal the dragon, but we're just gonna see the light shower.
Yeah.
Good too. Establishing a powerful board, and it's still a kind of awkward hand from Jester. There's Shadow Jeweler, Hanar shenanigans that can happen, but the swindles on an already pretty full hand. Still difficult to play, and the golem kind of requires a board setup, and there's pretty much no playable minions.
Yeah, Jester's gonna just thin out, just gonna try and do some hand thinning probably. Does draw Olgra here. So that's a 3/7 that will pose some threat, obviously. It might not pose a whole lot. But that pickup, the stunner pickup is pretty nice. Can just force Geranium to have to replay the 6/6 for 7 mana. Which could waste the entire next turn or whatever.
Yeah, I think you play it. I think realistically,
I like it.
It's fine for Geranium. Geranium wasn't doing much this next turn anyway.
Agreed.
Probably just gonna replay the light shower, but I like it. I think it's a smart use of your mana if you're Jester. Yeah,
there is a line where you play. I think Hysteria might be good here. With like a wand maker, because you can test for ambush this way, and make sure you get that 4 attack to damage to the rogue's face. Because one thing about rogue is they cannot heal.
It's true, and pushing this 4 damage could be big. I would like to see maybe even just Smite and play the Circus Amalgam.
Okay, yeah, no, that's right. He could just play the Circus Amalgam here, and he does.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's nice. It does trade into the stunner. I get it. Shadow stepping stunners can be an annoying, bit of an annoying tactic, but Jester, has an Octobot.
Yeah, looks like
No
way
to trigger it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna make a 5/5 that makes it a 3/6, that minion will take a lot to instantly die. It will very likely trigger.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe it wouldn't trigger, and with both Tenwu and Alexstrasza in the hand, that's a really powerful Octobot.
Yeah, this is kind of where Rogue starts to slightly outvalue this deck from Geranium, the Priest. Although I think N'Zoth Priest has the gas to actually keep up because of the N'Zoth plays. The only difficult part is that he has to figure out how to deal with his is that he might try to have to figure out how to deal with his Octobot. There is a line where I guess you could just go for like Light Shower and Wave, or could discover something off of Palm Reading. Considering all the options, there's always there's a way you can get a 8 mana 10/10, but probably not a lot of great hits with that right now.
Yeah, the 10/10 isn't bad. I don't mind the Light Shower. I don't mind Palm Reading Hysteria either.
Yeah, I like clearing up this 5/5,
I think I like this.
or it's 1/5.
I like clearing it off too.
Actually triggers the Octobot.
Okay, we are just gonna clear off the Octobot.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, the Octobot was guaranteed to trigger in that spot anyway. There was a world where you played the Light Shower, and then instead of Apathying, you traded both of your things into the Mancrick, so that the Octobot wasn't guaranteed a trigger, but it's a bit of a
stretch.
Niche play.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch.
If we find one more Octobot and get these Wicked Stabs to 0, then the burst potential will be kind of insane.
Yeah, that's for sure. But Hanar now gets so much value. He has the Bamboozle. He can play a 1-man Rogue Secret, and then play a Paladin Secret.
Yeah. I like this. I like Swindling too, but I think going in on the Secrets this turn, Jandis and Shadow Step.
That's really
in the hand together again.
That's nutty.
Freezing Trap.
Fix freezing, okay.
Hovering over the Wicked Stabs, maybe looking to clear off some board this turn, but I think we're going to hold them for burst and just look for another secret. Yep.
Yeah.
So he does. Finds a counter spell.
Takes counter. Probably could. I might Shadow Step the Hanar here. But I guess if Jester's going to try and attack the Hanar anyways, and we'll get Freezing Trap, but he will Shadow Step the Hanar.
He's going to Shadow Step the Hanar. It was an interesting choice. I may have liked to save it for Jandis, but I think I agree. Burst damage is probably the way we're winning this game, not board presence from the Jandis. So
yeah,
I like it. Have to play around. Freezing Trap.
Triggers Bamboozle. Oh, well, that's a card.
That is an Illidari Inquisitor.
Okay.
Mindbender.
Geranium's just gonna.
You can play out Tenwu, can play out all the Wicked Stabs.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of things happen here. Hanar's gonna come down with no secrets getting played. I mean, you can just play out Hanar, and as long as he takes it, as long as he figures out like the hand.
I really like this.
Kills the Illidari. Can't this.
We're gonna avenge this stealth, but that's fine. We can Tenwu.
He's gonna Tenwu the.
Yeah,
he can Tenwu the Elucia and just
Elucia, we can play it again in Hero Power. I would have liked to maybe Bamboozle and then play the Elucia, but I agree with the play.
I've always wondered like what happens at this point. Like, so I guess it just they don't switch back. They don't switch back, right? I don't think they switch.
No, I would assume they don't switch back. It may have like an animation where they switch back and then like switch back, but I would assume they just don't switch back.
Yeah.
And so I really like this. I think that Geranium Beast, or Geranium Battle. I see the
Battle.
Beast in the battle tag.
Yeah.
Geranium playing the Lucia here may have saved him from Alex Tenmu Wicked Stabs being Jester's out in this game. I really like this play.
Yeah.
Lightshare Elemental going to heal for a grand total of 1.
Yeah, and Geranium knows what that secret is, so he can properly play around. Wait. Yeah, okay. It's just a double switch. It's just a double switch.
They switch back and then they switch
because
back again. Yep.
Yeah, because of Alucia, the first Alucia. That's what happens.
Yeah. So we could see like Wand Maker throw away a spell and then maybe a Hysteria or a Palm Reading or something.
For sure. I think I which one was picked as the Mirage?
I'm not actually. Oh, it's the Mirage is Envoy Rustwix.
Okay, so if the read can be made that it's not that it would be Rustwix, which that'll just get cleared off.
There you go.
Nazal. We're just gonna Nazal here, of course. Full board. Or not a full board, but a big board.
Yeah, it's not huge. I wouldn't have minded seeing some kind of a Hysteria play, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. It's not a bad line.
No, it's not.
I think Rustwix. The fact that Rustwix comes off Jandis here actually is.
It's very
really kind of big. Those prime minions could become relevant, especially with only 5 cards left in Jester's deck.
Yeah,
and now that N'Zoth has been played too.
Mm-hmm.
Now that N'Zoth has been played, it's really. I like Apexis.
Flurry. Although Apexis is good because, especially if the last minion, especially if there's nothing in deck, then yeah, of course it gets a minion. But if there's a chance he just uses it.
I think you just play it for damage.
There's a chance he just plays it for damage here. Yeah, you have to remove that minion before the priest takes any more face damage. Anyways, because it's at 30 health, so nothing was gonna really come from it.
I will say I didn't take into consideration actually just how low a life total Jester has right now.
Yeah, no, he has 12. He's very there's a potential chance through Discovers to get a win here, but
oh, that was so close to being a full board clear.
Yeah, now there is some chances. The would have to play around the fact that it's counter renew. You don't want that renew to get hit. You probably, I guess you don't mind it now. You know it's gonna get C-spelled.
It's okay.
And then you can just palm reading.
And does he know the secret? I don't think he knows.
I think you play Gift of Luminance here. You probably just pick the Luminance and play it. If you're greedy, you go for Idol of Yasharaj, but Divine. But making an extra taunt here, especially using the Divine Shield to trade off Jandis. Although you have seen 2 shadows.
This is really strong.
You have seen 2 shadows, so he might just go. He could just opt to go face. Alright, Bamboozle.
Plays around Bamboozle for Jandis.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't hit Jandis because she turns into a 9.
That's right.
Really smart.
Definitely.
Akama Prime.
Akama Prime, not amazing, especially with Hysteria.
Yeah, it's one of the weaker primes. I'd argue it is the weakest prime.
It works in some decks. It works in some situations where your opponent doesn't really have a good way to clear stealths.
Yeah.
But generally, if you're playing it, you're trying to fight back as is. Now Jester has to decide if he wants to trade the Jandis or not. He does.
Hard to say. I think you could. Yeah. I doubt the Jandis 2-1 itself is really going to matter.
Yeah, I think at this point of the game, I think that unless you get like Canrathad Prime or Solarian Prime, like some super game changing thing, I don't think there's a whole lot. And I mean, at least it is perma stealth with no other minions on board. So we're gonna look for something off of Palm Reading very likely first.
Yeah, the only thing that can kill it is
The Shadowward
Soul
Ruin.
Mirror, I
Or
think.
yeah, Soul Mirror. Or
Oh,
Ruin.
Shadowward Ruin too.
Yeah, there are a
we both,
few
we both
things.
found the other options.
Yeah, condemn would deal.
Zyrella can't, not enough healing.
No, condemn. You pick if you pick condemn, you clear. With Zyrella because you'll heal for 2.
Condemn turns into a rank 3.
Yep.
I feel like you could just play for Renew here as well. It's such a nice. It's so good to just get Discover.
Ooh.
Rips an idol, gets the 10/10 healer.
And that's nice.
Yeah, doesn't even
That's
bother
really nice.
with.
I wouldn't have minded the
here.
condemn either, but this play is strong.
Zixor Prime does deal with it. And it does just it unfortunately creates a it does unfortunately create a decent it does create
Yeah, it chooses to trade in 2 more instead of a comma.
It does create a decent hysteria here, but also it just allows the board to get cleared by Zyrella because now there's now a Renew plus a heal would just full clear.
Oh,
second Renew.
Another Renew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking like Zyrella will probably come down this turn. Another idol of Yashiraj.
I would rather.
This is the third time he's been authored at this game.
I think I would rather see Power Word because I think Power Word's would be more effective if it got placed on like a Circus Amalgam or Zyrella here.
True, considering how close we are to lethal, I might agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, could come down this turn
because Renew,
too.
yeah, can you just go Renew and then you can just go like Circus and you go like Zyrella plus Power Word.
And we get an idol anyway. That is the 4th idol that has been offered this game.
Yep. Thrive in the Shadows is decently good pick though as well.
Yep.
Power Word Fortitude.
We get the Fortitude down.
Very hard to deal with. The Alexstrasza would have to hit the minion. Solarian Prime. Oh,
Prime into Prime into Prime.
You gotta drop the Prime here. Oh, and he doesn't misplay. He emotes before he primes. Netherwind Portal. Combustion for 5.
Netherwind Portal. We have Combustion.
Second Combustion
for 5 again.
Clears,
okay. We cleared Zyrella.
Cone of Cold freezes his minion.
Potion of Illusion.
Oh my gosh.
We're still in it.
That's so dumb, but yeah,
he's still playing. He can actually just drop this one if he wants to.
I think you wait. I think Solarian has more board clears now than actual development.
Makes
so I think
sense.
waiting until Geranium plays something is probably better.
I like just playing Thrive in the Shadows here. He's gonna have to figure out.
He's gonna have to guess if it was exactly what thought it was. Does have Apo, Razed, Renew. Razed's just really good in this matchup.
Another one.
Could actually get second.
Oh, you can just Hysteria this now.
Yes.
Because you got a 5/5. Punished for getting the best 4-drop.
Tenwu. That's pretty nutty. You could go N'Zoth, Tenwu, N'Zoth.
His own dead Tenwu. I like it.
Yeah.
Finds N'Zoth too is actually probably just game ending.
Yeah, there's more stuff that played.
Finding Tenwu was funnier.
I think definitely playing out this Amalgam would have been pretty good here. He doesn't want to make a big board because because especially Solarian Prime gets played. Then it's now Jester's just gonna try and outlast this Priest.
Alex for heal. I like it. There's is there one more Prime in the deck? I'm not sure.
No, Akama.
Or are there none?
Akama, Zixor, Solarian. So there is no more Primes. N'Zoth, God of the Deep gets played. You get back a bunch of
taunts. Some's all Circus Amalgams.
Blackwing for sure is the best play.
This Octobot can't trigger, so I'm guessing we'll just see a Solarian Prime here and hope it does work.
Secret Passage. Ugh.
Flurry does
Didn't clear
one.
his own board.
Yeah, he didn't clear his own board, which is fine. But
Studies.
But if this doesn't do enough, it's just gonna end the game.
Rigged Fair Game. Mask of Cthulhu is nice. Rigged Fair Game is terrible.
It just doesn't kill
Deck of Lunacy. We could see it. Deck of Lunacy. The dream is alive, I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
Secret Passage, draw the deck. Was there a spell? There was. It's a Pexus Blast. It triggers. Oh, it's incredible.
No way. No way, dude.
It's gotta be Evocation.
You gotta take.
Gotta be
You gotta take
evocation.
Evo. You take evocation here most times, just on the
Evo's
off
lethal every
chance.
time. Come on,
Yeah.
lethal every time.
He's gonna
You
go.
know it
He's
is.
gonna go into.
You've got so much spell damage.
The only issue is he has to figure out how to clear this board effectively because to make sure that he doesn't get that the heal doesn't do a lot. He probably just needs to. He probably just needs to play the stunner on the 6/4. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Agree.
well, low
Oh.
roll.
Oh.
Low rolled. And unfortunately, or in kind of fortunately, maybe unfortunately, a lot of this board's gonna die to this Samuro.
Samuro clears like pretty much the whole thing.
I think Alex Straza is almost Alex Straza Hysteria has the potential for a full board clear of Jester's side of the board.
You could also just, I mean,
I want to see
Jester
Venom.
has one card left, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind Blade Master hit then Hysteria.
sure.
Hysteria first too. No.
Well, no,
So
no.
you
This,
Blade
I mean,
Master
this
hit,
is
clear the board.
I mean, it's all clears, but all but one. You can even play out the.
Yep.
You can even 10 woo. Yeah.
Oh, Tenwu, it's disgusting. Clears the board. All right, this is the evocation. This is the dream.
This is the dream.
Fair game is actually gonna trigger.
Oh.
Fair game's gonna deal like 10 damage.
Deals 1, 2, 6
Or
damage.
5 damage. I can't
6. No, it actually does 10.
Yeah, it was 10.
Does
It was
10 damage.
That was right.
Come on, evocation. Give us something good.
All right. Full-handed evocation. There's what do we got? Anything? No. Oh, it's all terrible. Oh, it's so
There's
bad.
no
Ruined Orb.
there's no clears. There's
Primordial
devolving.
Sage Ruined Orb. I think the play is spring water. I think it's spring water. I think you just have to do it.
Yeah.
I think you play rigged fair deck of lunacy spring water is
I don't know, man. I think
okay.
let's see what
Ruined
Runor
Orb.
can do. Dirty
Still
tricks. Dirty tricks is always the play here.
Yeah,
He does
there it is, refreshing
it.
spring water. Finds a way
Nice.
to concede and Geranium Battle.
Survives.
Finds a win, brings himself up to 2-1 in the series now. So staying alive keeps the reverse sweep dream alive.
Yeah. That was a hype match. These guys are giving us so many good matches. We are being spoiled by these players.
We really are. It's been a good matches from both of our games today. So
Yeah.
we'll see what Geranium cues here. He's got what Paladin and Warrior.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the Warrior yet, so we don't know what it is. Assuming it's Rush Warrior. Makes sense.
Yeah, this is a situation where this rogue isn't gonna have a fun time against anything except for the Menagerie Paladin. And even then, I think the matchup isn't terrible per se. It still can go the Menagerie Paladin's way, but you want to get as many points as you can if you're on the side of Geranium Battle.
Yeah, I think that both matchups are obviously, but both matchups are winnable from both sides. So we'll see. It's an interesting opening hand from Geranium here. We see, I think Ogremancer's in like almost every deck. Means that he probably really was expecting like a token druid.
Yeah. Rush. I think a lot of people have just been putting Ogre-Mancers and Rush Warrior. It's quite interesting. Maybe I've just been seeing a lot of matchups.
There's an open spot from Crab Rider. Crab Rider still gets played some of the time, but could be considered an open slot too. Ooh.
Yeah, that
Oh, and a great draw too. This is really nice from Jester. He gets to curve out with Sparkjoy cheat, trade the ambusher into the parade leader.
Oh, we have a disconnect.
It's
So
like
we'll
a
just wait.
Disconnect from someone.
Jester disconnected.
No, it's
He'll
Jester.
be back. He'll
Jester
be back
is gone
shortly.
offline.
Yep. So we will wait.
But like
and
I'm
see.
saying, it's a good, really nice tempo options from Jester here, right?
Yeah.
Cheat, trade. You've got a powerful board. You can play Kazakus on the next turn and not be losing out on tempo.
Yeah. Jester is back online, so he'll be back in any second now. But yeah, this is great. Like the coin parade leader was the parade leader on 2 was quite a threat. But able to get the early
with any
secrets.
secret other than ambush, it would have been really great.
Yeah.
So still powerful, gets the ambush out of the way.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be on Geranium Battle to find the board comeback here, which is not a tall order for Rush Warrior. It's sort of what the deck was designed to do, but doesn't quite have the hand to do it.
Yeah, so I think I mean we see in Geranium's hands an answer in coin Sword Eater, which would be able to clear off the which would in theory, pending that it doesn't turn into a massive 5-drop, be able to clear it. Does also now get a Warmaw Challenger. But the coin Sword Eater gonna trigger.
Yeah, this is interesting. I agree. I think you have to hit the ambusher here.
Yeah, you can't hit the Spark Joy.
Not the Spark Joy cheat.
No, Spark
Better into Bamboozle too.
Yes. 5/5.
5/5.
Prince of Anche. So
that hurts.
Yeah, there was also a world in which you go just for the Wormhole Challenger because you had to guess whether it would trigger. It would have been. I mean, the result, if it's the same minion, would have been pretty devastating for Geranium, because I think he still would have had to take 5, but maybe he would have killed the minion. It looks like we got Divine Shield copy.
Divine Shield copy.
Yeah,
that's the classic golem.
That is the
and it's just so much powerful tempo.
It's a big golem. This board is clearable by Warmaw plus attacking.
Yeah, and this is actually huge.
Yeah.
Geranium getting a time where he can clear the board. He can be the one with, technically, even though it's only a 1/1, the most development on the board here is really powerful. Runthak, good. Not quite an answer to the Divine Shield at 5/5s, though.
No. I would like to see the Divine Shield.
We can see that if Geranium doesn't kill both of them, there's a 10 in hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll be able to clear 1. So we'll probably just get a 10 play here.
Yeah, and you can kill Runthak too. You can trade the Divine Shielded one.
Shield first, yeah.
That's what I'd like to see. There are other options, but
yeah, I'd like to see the Runthak
with 2 swindles.
Yeah.
I think it's powerful.
You got to remove the Runthak, because then you're gonna start getting into territories where playmakers with bumper car is possible. So yeah,
and I love this.
This is
we're not saving Tenmu for the combo in this kind of a matchup.
No.
Especially when we're already winning on the board so much, right? You know that Geranium probably doesn't have tons of board comeback options.
Yeah.
He hasn't been playing them. These are not the greatest. I think it's Primordial Studies, probably.
Yeah, Studies is cheap, so you take it. And then I still think
now we swindle. Play 5/5s.
Has to play at the 5/5s. Yep.
Nice.
So realistically, like Samuro getting buffed a bunch would be really good in this matchup, but I think it's almost too late. It's partially. Well, the board is there. No, I can clear some of the board with Playmaker Rokara, Playmaker.
He's gonna clear some, but if he
Car.
doesn't, it would be lethal.
Yes.
Right, if he goes for like an Ogremancer development or something, which is greedy.
Yeah.
It is.
I'd like to see
presented
Playmaker. Yeah. It just creates a scenario. It just allows Geranium to get a lot of this clear out of the way, with a lot of with the riders coming in, able to clear off the Divine Shields. And then clear off the 1/2. So
yeah, I like this. I think you traded the last one, the last Divine Shield.
Yeah,
I agree. It's still a lot of damage, but it's a little more manageable this way.
Mm-hmm. But we're gonna see a Hanar play here, very likely.
Yeah, Hanar is an option. I think he was also considering maybe Wicked Stabbing the 5/4.
Yeah, potentially.
And just going for a board lethal on the next turn.
Yeah, so we haven't seen that the Hanar wasn't played. It was Primordial for Mini Mage.
Yeah, but here it is. Now we get the Hanar, get the Bamboozle. with
Mhm.
5 drops on the board. I mean, Hanar's on the board too.
Snake is pretty
Snake
nice,
Trap.
but we're just gonna put
Blackjack Stunner.
we're just gonna put this we're just gonna stunner these minions back to hand and set up
It's so powerful.
yeah.
Once again, this is lethal presented, and these minions cost so much. I don't know that Geranium has a way to deal with it. I think he's just dead.
Yeah, I think he's. I think
If you don't kill both of these 5/5s, you're dead.
No, you have to.
So.
You can't kill the 5/5. You can only kill one of them. Yeah, that's his. What a. I mean, it's not over yet, but it is over in theory. There's not
it's
much.
over. I think we can see that.
There's not much. There's there's no feasible way that Geranium comes back from this point. Rokara doesn't even Rokara Playmaker just doesn't do enough. You can't clear off both the 5/5s here.
Yeah. Plus, this secret, as we know, is Bamboozle.
Yes. So it would turn it into an 8. It would turn it into an 8 attacker.
Yeah.
So
clearing even one of these minions is going to be near impossible.
Yeah, I mean, you just play it out with Rokara. You hope to kill it. With that plus
just
a rider.
Rokara, Dark Moon, yeah. And you have to trade this Dark Moon into a 1/2. I would have liked to see maybe the Dark Moon hit on the 1/2 first. But...
Hit Grom. Okay.
It's Grom.
Yep. This that rogue is the warrior now.
Jester is going to take the series 3-1 over Geranium Battle, which I believe will cement the week for Defias Brotherhood.
Yeah. So
I could be wrong, but
no, that cements the week. That would be very. I think the amount of
goes to 12-4, so they could still tie.
Yeah. Okay, they can tie. So double sweep from the rest of the members would result in a tie.
Yep.
So we can't.
It's not over yet for Defias Brotherhood and Do Even Talk, but still, a decisive and very clean 3-1 from Jester.
Yeah,
it's gonna make it much tougher for the Dark Moon Tonks or Do You Even Talk, sorry, to come back.
Cool. I'm gonna get our boy. In this call.
Yeah, please,
Jester. Just gotta wait for my Discord to stop being a laggy mess. Oop. That's wrong. Anyways, so congratulations to Jester on winning the match. We'll get him in here for a nice short little interview before we go off for the night. So I have added him in. We will switch that rogue to a check mark. All right. So do you have any thoughts on this match before Jester comes in a few seconds?
Yeah, I just want to ask him about the Primordial Druid, probably.
Oh, okay.
About the choice to bring Primordial Druid.
But... Sure. I mean, I think it was a good bring. It was definitely this lineup was definitely a beat priest lineup. It did get through, and then the secret rogue was able to win.
Yeah.
A very unfavored matchup. So yeah.
True. Yeah, rogue winning at the end was
huge. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jester?
Hello.
Oh, it's not good. Too quiet, too loud.
Nah, you're good.
Sound good to me.
All right. What's up?
A good GG's on winning the match, and looks like your team is 1 point away from sealing this week up. With 2 matches to go, so looking good for your team. Obviously, great playing by you. To take a 3-1. What was your Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You can ask a question. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was gonna say I kind of alluded to your potential plan coming into this match, but did you have a particular way that you were built your lineup against Uranium?
Sure.
If you care to
obviously
talk
I
about
banned
that.
Drew. Yeah, I'd love to. Obviously I banned Drew just because Skibberling and all the matchup spreads were bad. I pretty much just looked at his last week, and then he brought what he brought last week, so I was like, oh well, I guess I can make a counter lineup. So I brought Clown Druid. That's just good against pretty much like Priest. Here, let me pull up the
It's good against
matchup
Priest.
spread that I have.
It's good against Priest and Warrior, and it's about a 50-50 with the Paladin.
Right, yeah. So it's just a good bring. What else? Paladin. I'm just goaded on Paladin though. Okay, but yeah, I just brought Paladin because it's like the best deck in the game right now. So it's just a good bring. I don't even know my fourth
Priest
deck
is
now.
Priest. It's also
Druid,
one of the best
Paladin.
decks. So that was obviously a good
Oh,
bring, and it drew the
yeah.
ban.
So I had to bring Priest.
Hmm.
Right. I did see him ban it last week, so I was like, well, I guess he's just gonna ban it this week. So I'll be honest, I didn't practice it as much, so I was expecting the ban, but
Sure.
I'm glad that everything out as it went. Uh, I do feel like it was kind of scammy. Like some of those games were like, okay, I did feel bad. Like the 1 HP game, uh, I sort of misplayed by going for the greedy. Like at first, I thought he was gonna go aggro paladin, and then he played Librams, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can take this a little slower and go for the greedier play. But a turn after, I was like, okay, this is a terrible idea. I literally just threw the game. Like I should have went guardian animals. But
Um.
I mean, in the end, it turned out fine.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the play. Maybe it was some GM god play, but I felt like guardian animals was the much more comfortable play.
Yeah. I mean, I think either the line of playing Primordial there or playing out the Guardian Animals would have been fine. So, but you went for the
Yeah,
greedier line and
we
it paid
sort of
off.
considered them both. I hadn't thought of the fact that you didn't know he was Librams actually.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of went in just expecting aggro paladin,
Yeah.
and then I got
He
surprised.
played all of his
Like,
Librams,
oh,
I think, literally the turn after you played Survival of the Fittest.
right. Well,
Yeah.
no. I mean, he
No.
played Alder attended, but
Oh, you're right. That's true.
yeah. So I'm saying like going into the whole match,
Yeah.
I was expecting aggro paladin, so I was like, oh, this game is done. Like, whatever. And then I see him play the Aldor. I'm like, wait, this is a
Libram,
Libram paladin,
which is 50.
nothing. Like I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still worked out in the end. Still
Mhm.
made it out with 1 HP and totally scammed the game,
Whew.
which I do feel bad
Yeah,
for. But
that's something.
and then yeah, and then Rogue, obviously Lucia. Listen, I tried to play Tenwu early. I tried to get everything out before the Lucia, but my hand was just
Clunky.
it was so clunky. Like there's just nothing I can do.
Yeah.
To, like, get the
I mean, you
Tenwu
really
out,
had like the burst damage hand. You had
Right,
like the
right.
most easily a Lucia punishable
Yeah.
hand. So
So I was like, I gotta get this Tenwu down. I gotta get this out of my hand before. 'Cause I know with this matchup, you gotta get that down before. I can't go for the combo or whatever at the end,
Sure.
especially with Lucia.
Mhm.
Or at least I expected it. But I mean, my hand was just like swindle, eviscerate, Alex. Like it was just the worst. I mean, it's a great hand. It had so much potential, but like against Priest and in that situation, it is very clunky and it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
to do anything there. So
Makes sense. I think at the end of the Rogue versus Priest, I think you had a chance to stunner the Solarian, the 1 mana Solarian back, and I'm wondering if there was a consideration for that, because I know you ended up just stunnering 2 minions
Nope.
back.
I just didn't see it.
No, it's all
I
good.
didn't
That
think of
happens.
I-
That
didn't
happens.
even think of that.
Yeah, I did think about that.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the time.
The
I
dream,
didn't
the
think-
dream
I have-
was alive all the way through evocation.
Yeah, that was. I mean, you gave
I
us
think
a
my
real
mind was
show.
just so. Yeah, I felt like my mind was just so in the gutter. It was like this game is just chalked. Let's just go to the next one. I might as well just concede early.
You,
I wasn't
you
really
found
thinking
the
like,
same
oh,
line that we did with refreshing spring water.
Yeah. I was like, this game's done. So
Yeah, that's fine. Like, it probably saved you a lot of mental to just get to the next game. and then you pull out like a
Yeah.
30. You pull out a very unfavored match between Secret Rogue and Rush Warrior.
Yeah, the next
Right,
game that
yeah.
went phenomenally well.
Yeah, I was expecting to lose that entirely. And then it disconnected because I have the screenshot. My ambush when I played it, it literally went invisible. I'm like, hello, where's my ambush? And then it triggered, and I didn't have any minions. Like
Oh.
it was just invisible, and I couldn't do anything. So I was like, oh, nice indie game. So I had to restart.
Yeah,
But
great job.
other than that, the game went really well. I felt like getting that Tenwu out early and developing tempo, try to go for lethal because he was like 19 health or something. So I'm like, I might as well just push
Yeah.
for lethal and gain a board control. So I just did that and got the win there in a very unfavored matchup, like really unfavored.
It was really smart. It was really heads up use of Tenwu, and I really enjoyed watching you go for that line. I think it was absolutely right, and it obviously paid off.
Right. I'm sure 100% gonna watch the VODs afterwards and
Sure.
see what I could have done better and all that.
Yeah,
it's
They
always
were
fun.
good games, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they seemed pretty clean in all of them. Like Paladin, the first game, the Paladin, and the last game, the Rogue, were just like pretty clean tempo games throughout.
Yeah. I'd say my Paladin's pretty good. Rogue, I still need pricing.
Oh, I know how
I'd
good
say
your
that's my,
Paladin is.
awesome thing. Yeah, dude. Like
I know how good it is.
I don't think I can find a mistake in that game. Like I'll be honest, but obviously I still lucky.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean,
Paladin, I did feel very confident.
yeah, it's always interesting, even because and it's something really to take for the rest of for like everybody who plays Hearthstone. I'm like even for THL people. Yeah, I figure most people who play in THL probably understand that watching your VODs even when you win is super important. So that's really really good to mention.
Because you see like I could have stunned that minion there or Slayer, and like I never would have saw that. In the midst of the play, but after reviewing and you mentioned it, it's really good. That's why I like doing these streams. I get to learn a lot from them.
Yeah, for sure. I always love casting your matches. I didn't necessarily enjoy playing against you in playoffs last year. I could when I learned how good your Paladin is, but but yeah, I mean, it's a blast.
And the great thing is like if I say like, oh, I'm really good at Paladin, I'm great at Paladin, then people think, oh, I'm gonna ban Paladin, and then the other classes have better matchups. So it's
for sure.
So I'm not afraid.
Oh
to say,
no.
Like, oh, I'm great at Paladin.
I'm not even a great Paladin player. My Paladin gets banned all the time. Yeah, that's how strong the class is.
Like last year was just banned every round, and it's terrible. Yeah,
yeah,
and it's just strong.
It's really good.
Even, like, it's the go-to ban. I think it's sort of the go-to THL ban, that and Priest.
Yeah, it all depends.
But this win actually, looking at the numbers, this one's actually really huge for your team. Because assuming that your team gets one more point, which I would say you were probably confident in your teammates to win.
Oh yeah, 100%.
At least one more game. It's just really huge because you two, you guys and Tonk were tied in points going into this week. And this will put you ahead of them and much more solidly in contention for playoffs if you're not already guaranteed. So
yeah, Defias has so many points.
Say,
just
honestly,
killing it this season.
Yeah, Defias is doing really well right now.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's awesome being on this team. The teammates are working hard, being great. So
yeah,
it's going really well, and I really do appreciate the teammates, captain, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's nice to hear.
Especially seeing your 2-seed win. Their 2-seed hockey boys who really struggled at the start of the season and has picked up a few wins now. So really good for the team that you're getting wins from like all your seeds. Honestly.
Yeah. Everyone seems to be just having like a good season. It's really working well.
Always good to see.
Yeah, man. It's definitely been a blast casting your match. It's definitely been a blast watching Defias do really well this season. Maybe not for my team when we got crushed by you guys, but every other week has been pretty cool. Yeah, obviously any final shout outs or mentions you want to make before we go ahead and wrap up the stream?
I mean, honestly, teammates, captains, THL in general. I mean, the community is great. I've been getting better as a player because of THL, especially in tournament formats. The only tournament practice I get is technically THL and qualifier stuff, master, whatever. But a majority of my practice comes from THL, and it's been really great being in it and being in here for like 3 seasons, getting to meet new people. It's been really really awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So I guess that'll wrap it up for us. I want to thank Jester, Geranium Battle, Corden, and Disco for playing for us tonight. I want to thank Mojo Powell, my friend here, for casting with me on this. And I want to thank
Anytime. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. And I want to thank everybody who's watching in chat and just thank THL. As you might be able to see on the screen, and you'll see in all our logos, we are supporting Pride Month throughout the month of June. And we have our donation goal up on the screen in the top left. All bits, all subs, all monetary donations through our donation link will all go towards the Trevor Project, which helps support people within the LGBTQIA plus community, and just showing our support for the community, as THL is just an awesome and inclusive community, one that I'm really happy to be a part of. So yeah, you don't have to give a large amount of money. You can give as much as you want, and that's really only if it's within your means. Just having you watching and supporting, and even just spreading the word out that we're doing this to on social medias, and just doing what you can. And so that's gonna do it for Salty Saturday for this week. Thank you all again so much for watching, and we will see you next. We will see you tomorrow for either Sunday School Stone or Sunday Showdown. So on behalf of myself and Mojo, stay safe and have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye, everybody.